now. The tour squads to be named on Monday. It's all to play for at Headingley. Friday night at Wigan, and Lancashire gained the upper hand in the 2002 Origin Series. 22 points to 18 winners. The series will be decided tonight. If Lancashire win, it's all over, obviously. If Yorkshire triumph at the end of 80 minutes, then we have extra time, and then the golden point. And after the events in Soccer's World Cup earlier on today, we all know the drama and excitement that golden points can bring. Will Lancashire win it without Andy Farrell? Can Yorkshire come back, square the series and take us into the drama of sudden death? You know, on Friday night, Yorkshire came so close. Paul Sculthorpe now for Lancashire. Great ball to Andy Farrell. They've missed him. Fozzard missed him. Support is there aplenty. Joint hands it on to Radlinski. First blood for the Lancastrians.
Lancashire, well, they're in, it's in. Well, there's no more than just a slap in the face. This is an all-inner. Same as well.
Senior is through. He has got support from Price. And Price will touch down.
Great support, and what an offload.
Here is Sinfield. It comes to Sculthorpe. He finds Radlinski. That's a great ball. And there is Wellens, who will score for Lancashire despite the attempts of Mark Calderwood. The Red Rose County responds immediately, and Paul Wellens, the try scorer. Diskin's the dummy half for Yorkshire. There is King. This is Danny Orr. Oh, and there was a little gap there for a moment. He saw it too. And he's still not down. And he gets the ball away brilliantly to Sheridan, who'll attack the line, give it to Andy Hay. And he disappears under the challenge of Newton and Gleeson and gets the penalty.
Well, they'll take a quick tap, surely. Get on with it. Yep.
And they will, and there's a chance here.
Yes.
Almost down there was Haaland. Now, did he get it down? Did he lose it or what?
No, he got it down, but did it hit the whitewash?
Don't look at the ground in there, please, Jerry.
Definitely gets it down, plonks it down, and I think he gets it on the line. I think I'm going to go for TRY here.
No try. Well, here is Farrell. Farrell to Radlinski. Wide it goes to Johnson. He slides over. Momentum's taking him home. He's going to check it this time. But I think that Johnson has scored. And a man who got a try in this corresponding fixture last year looks like he's got another. Here is McDermott for Lancashire. Good offload. Well picked up by Wellens. He gets there this time.
No, he's short, is he?
Wellens gets the try. Second try in the Origin Series this year for Paul Wellens. Diskin waits at dummy half. Lancashire calling for reinforcements down this channel, because here they come with Gilmore. He scores. Sculthorpe, inside it goes. Try to the substitute, Mark Hilton.
Neat little work as well.
He's not given it yet. He's not given it. He thinks he's pretty sure, he says, but he just wants the referee to check, the video referee to check that Hilton scored this. Oh, now he's lost it, has he?
I think he may have dropped it.
Friday night to Lancashire, but by a very narrow margin. Now then, this is a very important night for all the players involved in this game, because, as we've said throughout this Origin series, come Monday morning, the squad will be announced for the trip to Sydney and the one-off test against Australia. One man who is certain of making that trip is the Great Britain coach David Waite, who is here with us this evening to run the rule over Lancashire and Yorkshire in Origin number 2. David, looking back first of all to Friday night, were you happy with what you've seen?
Yeah, I was really pleased with the football, but I'm more interested in the desire to win tonight and see what comes out of that, because they're the indicators, as far as I'm concerned, that are very important to us when we sit down on Sunday night for Monday to announce the side, and it's November that's important as well. So there's the foot in the door for November for the guys lucky enough to go to Australia.
Now, be honest with us and tell us just how many of the 17, 18 or maybe 19 players are inked in, ready, passport sorted, visa sorted. How many places tonight up for grabs, seriously?
Well, 18. And everybody that's been in camp for this week has given their back page of their passport, so that the logistics of going away on a Thursday night game to a Friday plane, we don't have to worry about. So they're all thinking they're a chance, and that's the way I like it. Thanks very much, Eddie.
Well, I'm sure you do, and you have to give that sort of incentive, Steve-o, don't you, to these players, because they all, to be fair to them on Friday, they all stood up and were counted, as our highlights package showed.
Yeah, without a doubt, and I think it's going to be a rough, tough affair, this one also tonight. And one man in particular, Barry McDermott, playing on his home ground, and I think he will lay the platform for a Lancashire victory. But it's not going to be easy for this Lancashire side. Believe you me, I spoke to Brian Noble before the game started. He's pretty confident, and he's pretty confident that they'll go through to the golden point, and they will make history with that golden point. And there was the man, Barry McDermott, certainly laying the platform. He's done it so well for Leeds this year. But as Eddie has mentioned, you know, it was a real rough, tough affair last week, and I thought people put their bodies on the line. And as you mentioned, the fact that they're getting on that plane to Australia, great incentive, but no more so than pulling on that wonderful, wonderful Great Britain jumper.
Now, David has said there are 18 places available, Steve-o. If you were him, and let's try and do his job for him, who would you pick at scrum half? Who would you play at full-back? Who would you play in the centres? Because these are the key areas, aren't they? I mean, we all seem to think that Andy Farrell is laid on. He is going to go as captain of Great Britain. David might disagree with that, I'm not sure, but we probably think so.
Well, I must say that I'd be very surprised if Andy Farrell wasn't, apart from the fact that maybe he will be injured. But there's the man. He'll be disappointed.
He's with Ian Millwood there, Steve-o, and you know, they only normally meet when Saints lock horns with Wigan, and I was talking to Ian Millwood today. He said it's been refreshing, it's been wonderful to work with Andy, and I think this is one of the great things that comes out of Origin, David, isn't it?
People that question Origin, have a look at Andy Farrell. Have a look at the knocks he's got from the other night. If you'd been in the dressing room where I was, the supporters would have been surprised to see the damage that was done out there with the collisions, and he enjoyed the game. He's extremely disappointed. If he's fit, he'll go to Australia.
Well, there's one we've got. That's one we've got. So Andy Farrell will be going.
The big thing, though, Eddie, that what you must also realise that a lot of these players, well, they are some of the best in the world. You know, you look at Redlinski, you look at Sculthorpe. Cannot leave them here. We know that, and let's hope that they are fit. We've been ravaged with injuries when it comes to the test level. You know, Kieran Cunningham comes to mind, Sean Long, and it all just seems to happen. We had the two hookers out last season as well. So let's hope and keep our fingers crossed that no one gets injured tonight, because I think it'll be a rough affair. A lot of people, they're putting their bodies on the line, and I expect that for the full 80 minutes tonight.
Well, let's just confirm what we're talking about. That one-off test match is between Australia and Great Britain. It's live only on Sky Sports, Friday morning, the 12th of July. Not far to go now before we have this collision of two great rugby league playing nations. The Aussies against Great Britain. It's live in the morning then, 10 a.m. on Sky Sports 1. If you can't catch it then, we have prime-time replays, 5 o'clock on Sky Sports 1 on the evening, and 9 o'clock over on Sky Sports 3. So there's no excuse. You can see how Great Britain get on down under in Sydney on Friday the 12th of July. Talking of Australia, they build their state of origin, which, as we said at the top of the programme, is very nicely poised just now as state against state and mate against mate. And, well, just as the Aussies like to say, this game tonight brings together players who normally are in opposite camps to each other, although they are great friends. Now, just how much will those friendships tell? Angela Powers has been out this week putting those friendships to the test.
To win a big match like this, you've got to know your game plan. You've got to know your opponents.
But most of all, you've got to know your own teammates. Will they be able to think like you? Will they be able to predict your next move? Do they know what makes you tick? Well, with the help of 3 little questions, we're soon going to find out exactly what these teammates know about each other.
These two have known each other for 10 years, but what have they learned in that time?
He's invited you around for dinner and he's doing the cooking. What would be on the menu? Would it be A, roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, B, fresh linguine and pesto sauce, or C, bacon sandwiches?
I think we'll have to go for C there, definitely. It's got to be a bacon sandwich. As long as you got some brown sauce, is all right.
Which of these 3 films do you think Anthony would prefer to watch? Is it A, Shrek, B, A Beautiful Mind, or C, From Here to Eternity?
I've never seen that From Here to Eternity, so I have to go Shrek. A bit of a child artist, so.
A sponsor has offered him VIP passes for a sporting event. What would he choose? Would it be A, ringside at a pro wrestling tournament, B, Henley Regatta, or C, the women's gymnastics final at the Commonwealth Games?
That's a tough one. I think he'd go wrestling. I think he'd go watch a wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Why do you reckon wrestling?
He's always wanted to be bigger, hasn't he? So he's a bit that way.
Which CD would he prefer in his personal player? Would it be A, Now That's What I Call Music 52, B, Kylie's latest, or C, ABBA Gold? No pressure's on
tough
you.
then. It's got to be that first one, like Now 52 or whatever.
It's his wife's birthday. What does he get her? Is it A, a poem written specially for her, B, a weekend at a health farm, or C, £20 in cash she can get her own?
I think I'd go for the weekend in the health farm, I think. He's a bit henpecked this year.
The squad is going to a fancy dress party. Which action hero would Anthony go as? Would it be A, Superman, B, Batman, or C, Spider-Man?
Have to be Spider-Man. I'll go Spider-Man.
Why?
I've no idea. But that's it. You just got a feeling Spider-Man. So probably wrong on all of them, but...
You've got to think of the outfit that might suit him best.
Spider-Man, yeah. Title again. He's got the figure for it anyway, so...
They're the best of friends, but can they predict each other's preferences?
Which of these 3 actresses would Barry prefer a date with? Would it be A, Jodie Foster, B, Jennifer Aniston, or C, Julie Walters?
B.
Jennifer Aniston. Has he got a thing for Jennifer Aniston?
Has he got a thing for Jennifer Aniston? He's just got a thing for women in general.
God, why don't you get people? Jenny,
Only.
the name of my wife.
Yes, that is why he's gone for Jen.
You're both in an exclusive London bar that doesn't serve beer. Which of these 3 alternatives would Terry drink? Is it A, a chilled Australian Chardonnay, B, a dry martini, or C, a glass of tap water?
A.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
Is he a wine man?
He's a bit of a wine connoisseur, so I like to think.
Barry is taking his wife out for the night. Which of these would it be?
Jiffy.
Is it A, dinner in a posh restaurant, B, the pictures and a pizza, or C, the pub and a kebab?
I think I know what he'll put, but I think it's a nice restaurant.
Stuart Raper has unexpectedly given Terry, and only Terry, a day off. How would he spend it? A, in bed until lunchtime, B, shopping for designer clothes, or C, DIY?
That's an easy question. He loves his clothes, thinks he's got a great dress sense, but he's got a shocking dress sense. B.
Barry has to leave a sinking ship with room for just 1 personal possession. Which of these 3 would it be? A, his wallet, B, his mobile phone, or C, his aftershave?
Not his aftershave, because he doesn't mind the BO smelling. Wallet, that would probably just make him sink. So I'd probably say B.
Which section of a men's lifestyle magazine would Terry read first? Would it be A, the problem pages, B, the in-depth feature on environmental issues, or C, 10 tips for a flatter stomach?
Well, he's got as many problems of his own as he can deal with. I don't know about, what was the second one?
That was the in-depth feature on an environmental issue.
No, well, that's nothing to do with him. And seeing as he's been on a quest all his life for a flat stomach, I would have to say C.
The scores on the doors here put the Lancs boys ahead, but will their knowledge give them the edge tonight?
They know quite a bit about themselves off the pitch, don't they? The mates on either side of the fence. We'll see how they get on out here at Headingley tonight. Now then, late news just reaching us, and bad news for Lancashire. Chris Joint is out of the Lancashire side, and we can find out exactly the reason why now, because the Lancashire coach Ian Millwood is talking to Bill Arthur. But first of all, we're going to hear from Brian Noble.
Brian, just 4 points in it on Friday night, and probably things swinging your way with Andy Farrell out and Chris Joint out now.
I don't know, they're still a pretty experienced team, you know, but they've got some exciting young players in there. We're pretty much focused on what we need to do, because I think they'll take a step up in intensity, because, you know, we had a great chance to get them on Friday. We didn't quite come up with the win, but I thought, you know, maybe morally we did. And I think we need to take a step up as well, so I'm expecting a really, really good tussle.
And is there more to come from your side?
I think so, yeah. I think we can execute probably better than we did on the attack, and you know, and probably not left a couple of soft tries in like we did. So it depends on the players. I think they're enthusiastic and they're up for it, so I think we'll see a good game tonight.
You know, it was fairly tasty on Friday night. Is more of the same tonight?
Yeah, we've spoken. Yeah, we need to impress upon our opposition that it means a lot to us as well, and at the moment we're 1-0 down, and to be where we need to be, we've got to first of all win the game and then go into the golden point scenario.
Ian, first of all, what's the news on Chris Joint?
Well, unfortunately today Chris has come down with a bad stomach virus and wasn't very well at the hospital, so we're sending him back home to Lancashire, and fortunately he's out.
And that's just the sort of player you don't want to be without tonight.
Yeah, we knew Farrell and Gleeson were out this morning because of the injuries they sustained on Friday. It was unfortunate with Chris because he's been playing very, very well, and he played well last Friday night, but no, he was in no fit state to literally walk, let alone play rugby league.
And you know it's going to be a tough game here tonight.
Yeah, well, because there's a lot at stake tonight. You know, I mean, there's going to be a winner and loser. Someone's going to win the Origin series, so the stakes are very high. And then the ultimate is on Monday when they announce the test team.
Thanks, Ian.
Anytime.
So it's a big step up this from Super League level to Origin level, and I just wonder what intensity the players will have to rise to. Let's go down to the pitch side. Bill Arthur is still down there, and he's joined by Phil Clark as usual.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, there were question marks before the Friday game about just what intensity level would be reached, a bit of cynicism about how committed the players would be. You only had to witness Nick Fozzard of Yorkshire, Lancashire's Barry McDermott, going toe-to-toe, getting themselves sin-binned, to realise that it meant an awful lot to those players. And that, apart from the fact that they got sin-binned, is just the sort of intensity you want in a game of this importance, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, there's always going to be the intensity when Barry McDermott's around the place. He gives 100% of effort 100% of the time. But I also thought that Nick Fossard had a highly noticeable game against him, because at an international level you need players who can come on and make an impact, and that's exactly what Nick Fossard did.
Well, of course, a lot of talk already about next Monday, GB squad announcement, July the 12th, the big game against Australia in Sydney. But for some of the players here tonight, it's a bit further ahead than that. The likes of Matt Diskin, Mark Calderwood, Stephen Wild, they're the players of the future.
Yeah, young British players need an opportunity. We've talked about a few. Matt Diskin perhaps on an accelerated learning curve because of the departure early of their Australian hooker. And Mark Calderwood, the only British player in the top 5 try scorers this year. What young British players need is a chance to play in the first team and then the chance to step up at this level. And that will enable the guys who pick the Great Britain side more players to choose from.
Thanks, Phil. Well, we had a reasonable turnout at Wigan, about 7,000. I reckon here tonight at Headingley we're going to exceed that. They're late arrivers, but they're piling in now, and I think the atmosphere is going to be pretty hot, Eddie.
Sure it is, and the Yorkshiremen hoping that Yorkshire will square the series and take us to that wonderful, magical golden point. Now, despite the fact that Ryan Sheridan appeared on the losing side on Friday, he went home as winner of the Sky Man of the Match award, and he took home the watch. And another player will take home the watch as per normal this evening. That's for the man of the match. The man of the series will collect the Roy Powell medal, and the Roy Powell medal will go to whoever has impressed the two coaches, Brian Noble, Ian Millwood, the most, and also perhaps the most important visitor to Headingley tonight, David Waite, who's up here alongside us. David, this is the start of the build-up for you. This is a very important match, as we've already said. What are you looking for from these players tonight?
Well, we said at the top of the show, Eddie, that backing up is the key thing. Even though we're going to a one-off test series, we are going into a 3-game series at the end of that. It is a week that I've got with the top players. So desire, intensity, skill, not necessarily man of the match performances, but improvements. And if we can get that, and you've got two sides of contrasting styles here. You had Yorkshire who powered down the field 300 metres further than Lancashire, and Lancashire a little bit better laterally and play a lot wider. I don't think they'll falter from their strengths tonight. That's why I think Yorkshire are in with a big show with the emphasis of the Bradford go forward and an interesting shift of Leon Price to 6. I think that'll be interesting. And Barry McDermott's vice captain tonight, and I don't think I've met a prouder bloke in the dressing room.
Well, Barry McDermott, of course, involved in one of the most controversial incidents on Friday when he and Nick Fozzard went toe-to-toe. They were sin bin, Steve-O. A lot of people said maybe they should have stayed on the field and had another go at it, or see just how one or the other responds to that sort of intensity in the scrum.
No, I thought the referee did well. He just said, OK, you spoiled the game for a moment. I know a lot of the fans, they enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. But you've got to make sure that the man in charge is the man with the whistle. And he did so and sent him to the 10 minutes in the sin bin, and rightly so. And I think they should do exactly the same tonight. But it will not stop the players like Terry McDermott, Fozzard, getting involved in it, because, especially for young Fozzard, golden opportunity. Very, very long time since he has had the chance to show at international level, or shall we say representative level. But it's going to be tough out there, and I think the mere fact that Paul Sculthorpe taking over the captaincy from Andy Farrell in that Lancashire side, I think that this could even build him up to even play better than what he has been doing this season.
OK, so Lancashire coming into the Lions' Den here, as it were, Headingley, the home of Yorkshire. And they will come into this den without the likes of Andy Farrell and Chris Joyce. Yorkshire, they've rejigged. They hope they will do the trick. We shall see. All the action's on the way.
Okay, people, listen up. We're going to court. We need to know just how new this new car really is. How's this changed? Why is that different? Have they moved the mirror on? I want the life story of every hinge, every nut, every damn piece of wire. Find me blueprints. Find me drawings. Find me moments of inspiration. And June, ask the guy who's responsible for the chassis just what he did that no one's ever done before. Oh, and will someone please find out what's so prestigious about Prestige Blue?
You.
Mum and Dad.
Connect with BT Open World anytime. Call 0800 800 801.
It's going to be perfect. You remember the first time we came down here after we got engaged? 1968, wasn't it?
How could I forget?
So are you ready to give it all up and retire?
Absolutely.
Subject to the following terms and conditions. No coffee mornings, no bridge evenings, no playing bowls, and no silly white caps. Part exchange of family estate car for sportier model. Guaranteed membership of local golf club. Holiday to Australia for 2003 Rugby World Cup.
At HSBC, we know that people everywhere have small print too. That's why we're offering an open, face-to-face discussion at your local branch, so we can better understand how to help you plan for the future.
We'd be so happy in a place like that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Please note, this house is for illustrative purposes only. Actual property must be located right next door to pub.
The individual review from HSBC, because people have small print too. HSBC, the world's local bank.
Put your hands right on top of your head.
You're under arrest.
Three award-winning cop series from the US, back to back. Non-stop police drama, weeknights on Hallmark, Channel 190.
Hi, I've got squeaky brakes. That's all that needs fixing. So it shouldn't be too expensive. and I'll need it for the weekend.
Forget the funny business. At AA service centres, all our mechanics are AA trained. See the difference. Call 0800 032 0832. Just ask.
This Saturday live on Sky Sports, the summer of rugby union continues. From New Zealand, a spirited Irish side pushed the mighty All Blacks to the limit in the first test. This time, can they go all the way? Then the game everyone's been waiting for. Tri-Nations champions Australia take on Six Nations champions France. Stateside next as Scotland play the USA in their continuing tour of North America. For Rugby Union this Saturday live on Sky Sports.
This is the 9th time that Headingley has staged a match between Yorkshire and Lancashire. It's 3 wins each and 2 draws in the previous 8. Lancashire won their 43rd match against Yorkshire on Friday. The overall totals are now level. 43 wins each, 3 draws. They've played 89 previously. This is meeting number 90. And Yorkshire, Ryan Sheridan going round each of his players, the captain, and he will want Yorkshire to win and square the series against Lancashire and take us into the drama of the Golden Point. Back-to-back wins for Lancashire over Yorkshire for the first time in 24 years, not since the late 40s, as Lancashire completed 3 in a row against their rivals from across the Pennines. These are the men who hope that history doesn't beckon for the Red Rose. Richard Horne is fit again. He comes in at full-back. Mark Calderwood, Lee Gilmore, Keith Senior and David Hodgson, the three-quarters. Leon Price moves to stand-off alongside the Yorkshire skipper Ryan Sheridan. And the forwards, Nick Fozzard, Matthew Diskin and Anthony Farrell. Andy Hay and Jamie Peacock in the second row, and Lee Radford comes into the starting lineup. He's the loose forward. On the substitutes bench, Carl Pratt, Danny Orr, Ben Westwood and Paul King. And the coach is Brian Noble. Glorious evening for this second Origin battle. Lancashire, Radlinski at full-back, and then it goes Anthony Stewart, Paul Johnson, Paul Wellens and Stuart Donlan gets a start on the wing. Paul Sculthorpe is the captain in Farrell's absence alongside Paul Deacon. And the forwards, it's Terry O'Connor, Newton and McDermott. Wild, Stankovic and Kevin Sinfield then fills in the considerable jersey that usually belongs to Andrew Farrell. And on the bench, Lee Breers gets a chance. Mark Hilton got a late call because Chris Joint was sent home ill. Malcolm Alker and David Mills complete the bench for coach Ian Millwood. So Lancashire just leaving their dressing room. Last time 3 in a row, 1947-48, 48-49 and 49-50 seasons. 22-10 at Central Park for the record, 12-3 at Halifax's Thrum Hall ground, and then a 22-13 victory at Warrington. The Yorkshire contingent in the crowd will be much more in evidence this evening as it was at the JJB Stadium on Friday. And the two captains, Ryan Sheridan on the left, Paul Sculthorpe on the right, lead their men out. No need for me to tell you, Yorkshire will play in white, Lancashire will play in red. And out they come for Origin number 2. Let me just reiterate, if Yorkshire win here, it doesn't matter about aggregate points. We go straight into extra time and straight into the drama of a golden point. Lancashire won here just over 12 months ago, 36 points to 24. A repeat of that, and Lancashire win the Origin Series of 2002. Shirt sleeve crowd, summer has arrived, thank goodness for that. And a great mixture of club jerseys. There's Warrington there, Wigan, St Helens, Wakefield. It's a rugby league occasion to savour. And because it is a rugby league occasion, we have a representative match. We have the national anthem, which will be played now before the kick-off. County champions, by the way, Yorkshire have won 24 county championships, Lancashire 34 over the years. Who will win it tonight? So match number 2 of the Origin Series 2002 about to get underway. We had Russell Smith as the man in the middle on Friday. Tonight the honour goes to Steve Ganson. And Steve Ganson will be looking for a big performance tonight because it is a British referee that will take charge of that test in Sydney on July the 12th. Russell Smith probably in pole position. A big performance from Steve Ganson tonight. And who knows? Steve-O, no need to ask you as a true-blooded Yorkshireman who your money's on.
Well, you just said it, Eddie, on the White Rose. It won't be easy. I know they have the home advantage, but Lancashire, they've certainly got probably the edge in the three quarters. Whether they have up front, we'll have to wait and see.
High kick-off from Paul Deakin, and underneath it, Lee Gilmore. Bradford ball to Bradford ball. It's that sort of a night. And I'll be intrigued to see what sort of reaction Barry McDermott and Kevin Sinfield in the red of Lancashire get tonight from this very partisan South Stand crowd. Normally they are so much behind McDermott and Sinfield, it'll be very interesting. Here is Anthony Farrell.
I think they'll push team loyalties to one side. Majority here will want the White Rose to become victors. And I think in the opening couple of seconds we see quite clearly that both sides are up for this. It's so important to them.
High kick from Leon Price, spinning and turning, and Radlinski's after it, and arguably the best fullback in the British game. He claims the first kick, and Lancashire will have use of the football. Here is McDermott, first touch for him.
Interesting to see there, Leon Price to stand off tonight, taking the kicking duties, and I would have thought perhaps they'd have been going for Ryan Sheridan. Obviously Brian Noble wants to use someone extra, someone different.
This is Paul Wellens. He gets to his feet, plays the ball to Terry Newton. Paul Deakin finds O'Connor. That's a great hit though, led by Diskin and Andy Hay. That's the Leeds combination, and Deakin with the kick through. It's turning around David Hodgson on that far side.
Good chase as well. Good work from Stephen Wild. He has impressed me this season, the youngster.
Richard Horn takes the second tackle this set of 6 for Yorkshire. A drive forward then by Lee Radford of the Bradford Bulls. Good tackling by Terry Newton and Kevin Sinfield.
Pretty quick off the mark there, Lancashire's defence, especially just wide of the play the ball area.
Hazard to drive the ball in again, and McDermott was there, not too far away. First impact was on Stankovic. There's a Lancashire player.
I think it's Sculthorpe. No, Sculthorpe's
Get down, Paul.
It is Paul Sculthorpe.
It was one of his. It was
just
McDermott.
If there's any problem.
It's hard enough to be hit by the opposition, but when you get hit by your own teammate, and he didn't miss by McDermott. Complete. Dearly me. And you can see it's made somewhat of an impact now. I'm not so sure whether that's Mr. Sculthorpe's claret or whether it belongs to himself. Either way.
Well, Paul Sculthorpe is not well at the moment, and this will be a major concern to the Lancashire coach Ian Millwood, who of course is the St Helens coach. Barry McDermott just looking a bit concerned as Sculthorpe gets groggily to his feet. Concern to Ian Millwood not only for the Lancashire cause, but also, and you bear in mind it's St Helens against Castleford on Friday night. I think Sculthorpe will take a breather, and rightly so.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned before the kick-off, let's keep our fingers crossed that no more of our big stars end up with an injury. This is the incident yet again. Barry was coming over the top. He's had Mr. Fozzard lined up, which we fully expected after the events last Friday, and he does not know where he is, I'm afraid.
Well, he connected McDermott with the head right on the chin, and there is the concerned face of Ian Millwood. Let's hope it's nothing more than just a few moments that he needs on the sideline, and let's hope it's nothing more serious than that. The kick from Yorkshire's Ryan Sheridan was far too deep.
Come on, fans.
He certainly knows the field. There's every blade of grass here. I think it's also important as well that the referee, Steve Ganson, ensures that everybody gets back the 10 metres. We need a good open game so that they can show the skills. That's what they're out there for. Okay, they know they want to win, but they've got to impress to get on that plane to Australia. That'll be play on, back to 6.
It is. Back to 0 on the tackle count. Lancashire have it with Terry Newton. Well, Lancashire now will have to do it tough because they're without Joint, they're without Farrell, and for the moment anyway, they're without Paul Sculthorpe. Step in maybe Kevin Sinfield or somebody like this. A beautiful move to Radlinski. Radlinski scores again. Scored the first try on Friday night as well for Lancashire and has come up with a wonderful double. And I think that was his teammate Paul Johnson who put the final pass into him.
When you mentioned the fact, Eddie, that Lancashire, without so many of their playmakers, but once you've got this kid on the field, Sinfield, back on the inside, Johnson knew exactly what was happening. And as ever, Radlinski, it's becoming a habit, isn't it? Early in the game, he did exactly the same thing. It was the same guy, I think, that flicked the ball back and made the break yet again. Wonderful work by Kevin Sinfield. And this is the reason why many people throughout the world think that Chris Radlinski is up there with the best.
Well, Radlinski won the Royal Powell Medal here last year with a stunning performance, and Brian McDermott, alongside him Lee Harland and Nathan Sykes, Brian Noble rather. Brian Noble, the Yorkshire coach, with work to do. Deacon with the successful kick, and Lancashire hold a 6-0 lead.
Look how he pulls a man back on the inside, but poor defensive marking. Matt Diskin, Lee Ratford, they were very, very slow to fill in. Went far too high, did the hooker Diskin. And that was a classic try created by Kevin Sinfield.
Lancashire with the sunlight in their eyes, and that's why the kicks are going high whenever Yorkshire manage it. Here is Barry McDermott now. And this is O'Connor. Always eager to carry the battle forward, Terry O'Connor. And O'Connor this evening, by the way, making his 300th career appearance. And Barry McDermott, by the way, making the 200th starting appearance of his career. Milestone shared between two of the greatest off-field friends in the business. Missed out Sinfield, found Deacon. Here is Radlinski again, taking on Farrell and also their Matt Diskin. Right on the halfway line, Lancashire. Deacon now, a little drop of the shoulder, lovely little skimmy and a dummy. Newton.
That was forward.
Not in the view of the referee.
Swiggled round far too much there, got away with it.
Here is Deacon again, and he'll hoist the kick to the corner. First real test of Richard Horn's ability in the air, and it wasn't needed. Oh, stolen by Wellens. He got the ball away to Stewart. It's got to be 6 to go for Lancashire, surely. And it must be, because here we go, down this touchline. And an opportunity there, but snuffed out by Lee Gilmore's tackle. Now then, Deacon. Deacon to Lee Breers. Wide bouncing angle ball to Johnson. And in touch.
Go. Good work. Fine example of the sliding defence, moving right across. Lancashire giving it plenty of air. That was nowhere to go, but his foot was on the line. Good work from the linesman. Or the touch judge, should I say. My apologies. There's it. Not much in it. Just, yeah, but he was in a good position, was the merry flag waver. Well, they were lucky there. It looked as though Mark Calderwood had it all wrapped up and then had the ball stolen from him.
Magnificent tackle there by Stankovic on Senior. Here is Leon Price. Oh, and there's a bit of a blue in the back play as this continues. Ryan Sheridan. Back it goes to Richard Horn. And needless to say, coming away from that fight in back play, there was Barry McDermott, Nick Fossard, Terry O'Connor. This is Ryan Sheridan, gets the pass away to Lee Gilmore. Good tackle on him by Paul Wellens.
Wonderful defence there by Wellens. It had to be, but get on with the game, that's what they're saying.
Mark Calderwood, grounded.
Well, if it stops, I'm sure that the touch judge will come on.
Sheridan, wide it goes to Senior. Senior then further wide to Hodgson. And Hodgson just held up short of the line.
Super play there by Keith Senior.
Last tackle here for Yorkshire. Sheridan. And Sheridan will dab the kick in, but cleaned up at the back by Chris Radlinski for Lancashire.
Well, he hasn't got much hair, Chris Radlinski, but he's got a radar implanted in it. He just appears out of nowhere, doesn't he? Unbelievable positional play there. Great play. But a good opportunity, that'll lift their spirits. The mere fact that Keith Senior went in and out, pulled his opposite. Here's a kick from Sheridan, not the best, but he just reads it so well.
You're in possession, walk away.
Well, the referee, you might have heard him in back play while Yorkshire moved forward on that attack, that he wasn't stopping the play just for something that was going on behind the attack. This is the last tackle here for Lancashire, and Deacon into the open space. Calderwood has got to funnel back. Breers leading the chase with Wellens. Great tackle by Lee Breers. He should have been very anxious for his chance, I know, the Warrington man.
Well, Ian Millwood made it quite clear to Breers that he would get on early.
I don't think he wanted him on as early as that for the injury to Sculthorpe.
Irrespective, Eddie, he was told that he certainly would be on in the early part of this game, and rightly so, because I want to see what he can produce. He's done it so often, especially for Wales.
He has. This is Calderwood. Good tackle again by Lee Breers.
Well, I must say, good footwork again from Leon Price, and he's made two wonderful little half breaks, and that must be pleasing for David Waite. Just a little bit too long yet again from this fella, Ryan Sheridan. He had a wow of a game with the JGB last Friday. But a golden opportunity. David Waite said it before the game, Eddie, that Leon Price, great opportunity for him. He's certainly trying to take the chance.
Come on behind, lads.
Yes.
Well done, mate.
All the players are mindful that there is the test match against the Aussies coming up, and then perhaps more importantly the series against the Kiwis in the autumn. This now is Terry O'Connor. Never takes a backward step, the Wigan prop. Newton. Deacon. Stankovic wanted it, they missed him out and found Breers. Good tackle again by Leon Price.
Well done, Bree. Well done.
Stankovic dummy half. Deacon will hoist the kick out wide. A tester here for Hodgson. And it bounced within the field of play. They took the gamble.
Sure did. I've seen them just bounce straight back out. And David Hodgson, should I say, Stuart Donlan just allowed it to go. Nice high kick from Paul Deacon.
Okay.
They'll be happy, and he will be happy in Millwood, not just because of the scoreline. You can see how the sun is affecting them. Really long shadows.
What are we doing?
So Yorkshire must try to utilise this advantage as much as they can.
That's the sun that sets this time of year and plays straight into the eyes of the defenders away to our right-hand side. Here is Gilmore. Lancashire with sun on their backs. Or sun in their eyes. Yorkshire with sun on their backs. Fozzard. Good run from Fozzard.
Onto the ball, that's lifted Yorkshire. It's lifted the crowd here. The famous South Stand underneath our commentary position. They'll give them plenty of noise.
It's Andy Hay. It goes wide to Radford. Senior the dummy half. Andy Hay. Familiar territory this for those two.
Surely they'll give it height. No, they've gone the short blind. Diskin.
With a dab to nobody in particular. Maybe
well, Brian
the wrong option there.
Brian Noble won't be happy with that, and that's the reason why he's sending the message down. We've already mentioned the fact that the sun's got to be a problem. They've got to be punching it down here to the Lancashire left winger, put him under that pressure.
You're better on here than in the big lad. second, we'll go for it. Hold here. You did that the other night, show how good you are.
McDermott to his feet, plays the ball to Newton. Good ball out wide, lost. And Yorkshire get the possession back. David Hodgson. Oh, it's a stroll in for Hodgson in the corner. David Hodgson. The big question, though, is how did the ball come free?
Well,
Steve Ganson will take a look at it via the video referee.
I'm certain everything's all right.
Video referee tonight is Steve Cross, by the way.
Yeah, a little doubt in my mind that Paul Johnson lost this football. Yeah, I don't think there was any hands in from Sheridan. I'll go for TRY on this one, but quick thinking there by David Hodgson. Impact. No, Sheridan's right arm came down very late. That'll be play on, and Hodgson certainly did that. I want to take frame by frame, but I think you'll find that Paul Johnson is losing control of this ball just before the arm makes contact. There. Yeah, Sheridan's arm is just behind the ball. I think he was losing that. The way that, yeah, he's trying to flick it back. And I think he'll pay the price, Paul Johnson.
Big impact by Senior originally.
Or is he saying that Senior's dragged it out? Well, all he's doing is trying to stop him, and he's allowed to do that in a tackle. I'm going for try.
Let's see. Steve Cross's version is important. It's a no try.
Tell me what you're giving when you're giving it.
And a penalty kick to the attacking side, which was Lancashire, of course. Ball was stolen.
Well, we often say that it's up to the ball carrier to make sure that they keep hold of the football. And I just think that Paul Johnson was trying to offload, and the impact from Senior, not seen that way by the video referee.
No, he saw it totally different to you, and I must say to me up here as well. But it's his word that counts, and that's why Lancashire are on the attack here with McDermott again. Flicks the ball away. Newton. Here's Lee Breers. Showed it to Stankovic. Brilliant dummy. Little sidestep. Breers is out to impress tonight.
Deserved to try that. Sheer skill.
Newton to Deacon.
Big hit there by Andy Hay. Deacon just stepped off the right, went right into his chest.
Newton 10 metres away. Barry McDermott bounces off one, bounces off two. Fossard comes in number 3. Tackle's completed. Newton trying to pinch one, flicks it back to Paul Deacon. It goes wide to Kevin Sinfield, further wide to Chris Radlinski. That's a good ball. That's a great Lancashire try. That's a super Lancashire try. And Stuart Donlan is the man who scored it. The Halifax Blue Sox player, Stuart Donlan.
Great build-up. Offload under a lot of pressure, but look how they stood deep. Used the dummy coming through, and Donlan back on the inside. That was good work by Paul Johnson, the centre. Newton went on the foray, but got the ball away. Now you'll see Johnson come back on the inside, and that was the reason why Senior hesitated. And when they combined the winger and the centre, this fella Donlan took full opportunity. That is a fine effort.
42 consecutive appearances for the Halifax Blue Sox, Stuart Donlan. He hasn't scored since the Widnes game in April. He scored now in the Origin. And Paul Deacon to try and add the extras. Well, Yorkshire will feel aggrieved because they might have been just 6-4 down, and who knows, maybe even 6-all with the kick to come. But now they're 10 points in arrears, and this from Deacon could make it 12-0. Lancashire taking a bit of a stranglehold on this match.
Taking him a long way back and holding him, so seems to be working.
Deacon tries to punch it under the wind and does so. Yorkshire 0, Lancashire 12 here at Headingley.
Wonderful work from Johnson, coming back on the inside. There he is, and see how the fullback goes round the back, takes the angle. Oh, that is a fine effort. Good combination. Read it ever so well, did Donlan. Fully deserved it. Golden opportunity for this fella too.
Yeah. No, but there was no problem.
Yes,
honestly.
Stuart Donlan,
Fine.
formerly at
I'm
Lee
good for it
with
if I need
Ian
it.
Millwood,
Trust me.
now at Halifax. 17 tries in 2000, 11 tries in Super League last year, 4 tries in Super League so far this, and 1 now in the record books against his name in the Origin series.
Come on. Well done, Klaus.
Well, Yorkshire just looked a little bit flat there. The fact that they'd had the try disallowed to Hodgson via the video referee. And they've got to be pretty careful that they don't just let their heads go down a little bit. If Lancashire score again, they'll go, well, they'll rampage.
Well, the big news for St Helens fans, of course, is that Paul Sculthorpe went off injured very early in this match. That's why Breers is on here, and his pass to Wellens. Let's get news of Paul Sculthorpe's condition, Bill.
Well, Eddie, we're still waiting for news on Paul Sculthorpe's condition, which is a bit worrying, in fact. He was taken into the medical room by the Great Britain doctor, Dr. Chris Brooks, and neither he nor Paul Sculthorpe has emerged from that room yet. You've got Paul Sculthorpe's family actually waiting outside the medical room for some news, and of course the concern is that there might be a jaw injury involved. It looked just like a split lip when it came off, but the length of time it's taking, the worry is increasing. Let's just hope that for Ian Millwood's team's sake and for Great Britain's sake, and for Paul Sculthorpe's sake, it's not as serious as people are beginning perhaps to wonder.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I saw he got it right on the button, Steve-O, didn't he? And if he has broken a jaw, that would be an absolute tragedy, personal tragedy for the young man.
Well, it could even be the eye socket, the fracture. That's got to be a penalty, surely. No, he says one-on-one, play on. Well, there looked to be 2 in attendance.
That went back as well off Barry McDermott, so Lancashire have it back here in the shape of Stephen Wilde. And Yorkshire having to work very hard in defence because Lancashire certainly have the sniff of something. This is Deacon. It comes wide to Breers. Breers then to Stankovic. And fortunately for Yorkshire, Paul King, on his 90th career appearance, got a fingertip to that. It's a knock-on against him, though. Head and feet coming up to Lancashire.
Well, the way that Lancashire are running the angles, they utilise the inside pass. One man crossing to the left, the other one going back on the right, and vice versa. It's completely confusing, this Yorkshire defence.
Double change by Yorkshire, and double change also by Lancashire. Malcolm Alker is on, and so too is David Mills, who's been promised a bit more game time tonight by Ian Millwood. Breers.
Very slow in the first and second marker, Yorkshire. They've got to really get a little bit more enthusiastic around the play the ball area.
Here is David Mills.
And you see they're getting over the advantage line with considerable ease.
Malcolm Alker is the dummy half. It goes back to Paul Deacon. There is Kevin Sinfield, little drop of the shoulder, gets it away to Radlinski under pressure from Paul King. Now Breers again. Across the line it goes, and it's a walk-in for Donlan. Now then, did he hit the touch line or the flag first? The video referee will have to tell us.
Have a look, he thinks he's took the flag
Pretty
down.
close.
Check the flag undergrounding.
Oh, his knees just hit the whitewash, I think, before he gets it down. Yeah. Well, that's a shame. It was a good effort.
Touch as well, mate.
Pretty dry out there, not like we saw on Friday, where you could have utilised the wet conditions to slide in. Not a bad effort, though, by Donlan. Fully deserved that. Lancashire swinging this ball out wide at every opportunity. I'll go for no try, but it was close.
You're right this time. Donlan scored a try earlier and was hunting a second then. And he's looked very enthusiastic. Just lately, Stuart Donlan.
The main advantage, Eddie, that Lancashire have is that they're offloading with good effect in the middle of the field, and then they get in their linking qualities. They're swinging the ball out wide, getting it away from the rough area.
Oh, what a hit there. That was a terrific hit. David Mills, Malcolm Alker, John Stankovic, Paul King felt that. This now is Jamie Peacock.
Oh, there's another one down, Lancashire man down.
And that's Stankovic, I think. Or is it Wellens? No, I think it is Stankovic.
Come on! Here.
No, it's Wellens.
Yeah, he's got a bad knock.
It's going from bad to worse from the St Helens point of view.
He's in a lot of trouble. I don't think... I don't think he knows where he is. Another knock to the head, perhaps.
Leon Price with a little dab over the top. Flicked back by Stankovic. And Breers was there, and Breers took a knock then from Leon Price. Here goes Stankovic now.
Not so sure that was the best option there by Leon Price.
Well, good news, Wellens jogs back into line.
This is where the ball was pinched away. Well,
third, Leon.
Big hit. But I'm sure that Brian Noble would have wanted to make sure that Yorkshire applied the pressure, get them right down in the corner. They haven't had much possession.
No, it's been all Lancashire at the moment. And here is Sinfield at the heart of it all. Gets the pass away. And it's a good defence on Paul Johnson.
That's good, Cal.
Ooh, not the best pass.
Deacon did well in the end. He will dab it over and behind Mark Calderwood. And Calderwood's going to have to run this out, and the chasers have arrived.
Well, that's the type of kick that I'm talking about. And Lancashire are utilising it. Offside, moved off the mark as well. Ironic cheer from the Yorkshire fans. But they're running the show, and the boys in red on top in every single department.
So what have Yorkshire got in the locker? This is Paul King.
I know what I nearly got, the ball.
I think we might have aimed at you, Steve-O. Penalty to Yorkshire here. Messing around the ruck.
That's an awful error.
Well, is it? Yes, it is. It runs... Well, I was going to say it runs touching goal, but it doesn't. Chris Radlinski thought it was going to do, and now he sets off on a run. He didn't find touch from the penalty, Yorkshire.
Well, they should have calmed things down there. Ryan Sheridan, who controlled things at Wigan last Friday, certainly struggling at the moment. And that kick, well, that was woeful.
So it's Lancashire who have possession here with Johnson.
Okay, Dave.
And there's David Mills again. Came on for about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour on Friday night. Good movement from Lancashire. Radlinski out of one clutch, but can't get away from Nick Fozzard. Alker, Sinfield, dab over the top, pressure. Hodgson claimed it well. Good chase though from Lancashire. Enthusiasm again from Kevin Sinfield, and he's there once more, Sinfield.
Well, they are working in that 1 and 2 marker position. And they look a little bit lost, I'm afraid, Yorkshire. They need something very quickly, someone to start taking control out there.
Peacock gets the ball away to Leon Price, but
well done.
Good tackle again from Wellens and Mills. Gilmore for Yorkshire.
Far too much one-out football from Yorkshire. Though that's a good break, but they're not supporting.
Turnover.
And again,
caught in possession.
The power play. Well, this is becoming a nightmare for the coach Brian Noble, who will be bitterly disappointed.
Come on, Cal, Nick.
Look like they're just searching for a leader at the moment, Yorkshire, don't they?
They look lost.
Chased by Stephen Wild.
The opportunities they have had, they've wasted, and then I made the point about that bad kick from Sheridan.
Behind. Come on, Cal.
Donlan to his feet, plays the ball to Alker. There's Sinfield, quick hands to Deacon. Further wide it goes to Breers. Lovely pop pass from Breers to Stankovic. Chances here, and he's over the line, and he's got it down, I think, Paul Wellens.
Yeah. He'll just see whether his momentum had stopped. I don't think it had.
Touch who stinks he might, but we can't go on things.
Paul Wellens believes he scored.
Well, it's whether his body is still moving or whether they've stopped him. That's a try for mine.
Well, if it's given him, this will be Paul Wellens' third try in the series.
He's still moving, even in slow motion. This has got to be a try. He hasn't got it down there, but he has got it down there. You're allowed to do it. As long as you are moving, they'll give the try. But knowing me, with my luck...
No, you're right this time. Wellens gets the nod. He played on the wing here last year. A try from fullback for England against Wales, fullback against Australia in the third test last year. This fella can play anywhere, Paul Wellens, and he really is one of the stars of the Super League. There's no doubt about that.
Beautiful way, the hands there. Breers sending Stankovic through. It has just lost its way as this Yorkshire defence. So much skill being showed, and that was wonderful play. Excellent. Well, Lee Breers said he is taking his opportunity.
Yes, he is. Now then, Deacon with the conversion, and that swung back. That really did veer. Looked as though it was going out. And in the end, went over the top of the crossbar. It's 18-0 to Lancashire. And they really have taken this game by the scruff of the neck in the first half. And Yorkshire in danger at this moment of being swamped.
Well, I've been impressed with the way that Lancashire have kept this ball alive, and also their ability to slide the defence. Yorkshire was okay in the opening 5 or 6 minutes, and then once Radlinski got over for the try, they haven't been at the races.
Good drive forward by David Mills again, and a big hit.
Well, King went for the big one, didn't he? Didn't quite get it.
Jamie Peacock landed. That's good offloading by Barry McDermott.
Second, come on, mate.
Well, in every facet of this game, Lancashire have controlled.
Well, here comes the news on Paul Sculthorpe. St Helens supporters holding their breath. Great Britain supporters as well. Bill?
Eddie, sighs of relief for those Saints supporters, for Lancashire and for Great Britain, because it turns out to be a very bad cut in the mouth for Paul Sculthorpe, and not, as people were beginning to fear, a jaw injury. Of course, everybody had in mind the fact that Paul Sculthorpe broke his jaw at the start of last season, and that went through, I think, a lot of people's minds when they saw that clash of heads with Barry McDermott. But just to repeat, the news is it's a bad cut in the mouth, and I don't imagine it with Lancashire in this position that they'll be willing to risk Paul Sculthorpe again. I think he's still in the medical room as it is, so I should imagine he'll be sitting out the rest of this game.
Well, 18-0 up Lancashire, so I suppose some would say that who would need him at this stage?
Well, there's no point. You made the fact, Eddie, that the point that Lee Breers is playing out of his skin.
Sheridan with a kick over the top. He's gone for the 40-20, but that ball skipped the other way. Anthony Stewart will pick it up. Sheridan, man of the match in defeat on Friday, really hasn't taken hold of the game by the scruff of the neck as he did at Wigan. And this, of course, is home territory for Ryan Sheridan. Deacon to Radlinski. Lancashire, with this ability and this willingness to move the ball across the line and switch the angles and call the players in on the angled runs. It's causing havoc for the Yorkshire defence.
Well, they're always looking for the offload. We haven't seen much of that from Yorkshire.
David Mills. Malcolm Alker of Salford at dummy half. Barry McDermott alongside him. Alker takes the responsibility himself.
Well, that again was caused by the fact that the first and second markers were just standing still.
A little dab through by Breers. Well picked up, though. Well swept behind by Calderwood.
Difficult to take that as well on the run. But yet again, Lancashire exerting that pressure. They know exactly what to do. Yorkshire, when they've had possession, they've virtually been playing all this first half in their own half.
Jamie Peacock.
It's better.
Can Yorkshire lift? Can they find something up to half-time? The try to lift their spirits, lift the spirits of their supporters. Pass on the bounce was collected by Senior, dumped over the top and looking for Hodgson. Hodgson wasn't there. And Brian Noble, who tells me, by the way, he gets through 3 packets of chewing gum a match.
He might get through about 12 after this. Misunderstanding.
Get a breather, lads.
Just decided at the last moment, David Hodgson, that he was coming back on the inside. There's breakdown in communications, lack of understanding. And he is chewing away, Brian Noble. And I think he might spit it out to say quite a few words at half-time. They need it. They need something to this Yorkshire side.
Well done, Jamie.
And look at the handling errors and the missed tackles by Yorkshire, and Lancashire playing almost a faultless game at the moment. Wellens with a pass to Deacon. Here's McDermott. He was missed by Paul King. He was missed by Leon Price. The ball comes out of his grasp, though, under pressure. But Barry McDermott trying to retrieve the situation. Just missed Mark Calderwood, but Deacon didn't.
Well, it shows you the difference in the two sides, Eddie, with the fact that McDermott missed a tackle, came back and fought his way into a position to try to get another big hit in.
Fozard drives it forward again.
Big solid defence, though.
Paul King gets the pass away. Radford looked to offload, then thought better of it. Carl Pratt, Richard Horn, Leon Price. Price going for the hole, but Wellens and Stankovic closing it quickly. Last one for Yorkshire.
Apart from a few little forays by Leon Price, not much in show from the Yorkshire boys.
High kick, hanging, but well claimed by Donlan, and Donlan's got space ahead of him.
Why on earth are they kicking over there? The sun's already gone. That's good work, though, by Hay.
Andy Hay grabbed hold of Donlan.
Oh, he's given a penalty. Well,
tackle was complete and dragged him through.
Oh, he's baffled me on this one. If that's a completed tackle, my hair will grow yet again.
Okay, Steve.
Spinning him around, spinning him around. What more does the referee want?
Well, that looked all right from up here.
But get it there again, Eddie. Why on earth? We talk about the sun being a problem.
Mills still, what a marauding run.
And they kick to the wrong corner.
Alka dummy half. Sinfield stretches, goes for the line. Sinfield stands, back to Alka. Here's David Mills. Mills
back to 6.
Got the ball away. Was it touched by a Yorkshire hand?
Yep.
Yes, it was. Radlinski is there. So too is Deacon. Deacon back to Terry Newton. They've missed him. It's another Lancashire try. Terry Newton with the try this time. Substitute here last June. A broken arm kept him out of the Ashes series. Perhaps Terry Newton has the thought of something, and there is Andrew Farrell on the headsets, carrying the messages from Ian Millwood, maybe.
Well, this is just down to poor defence. Mills did well. You could see it was King that got the fingers to it. And once they whipped it out yet again, Malcolm Alcott very, very quick. Not the best there from King. And the hooker gleefully accepts. And again, we see bringing the ball back on the inside. Boy, they've worked that so well. Fully deserved. But this Yorkshire defence is woeful.
So Terry Newton, like all of the players here this evening, trying to cement his place in David Waite's thoughts for the one-off test against Australia and the series against the Kiwis. Ever present for Wigan this year, Terry Newton. Here is Deacon, and there's another 2 points to the Lancashire total. It's all one-way traffic at the moment, 24 points to 0.
And it'll turn into a convoy. Never mind one-way traffic if they don't sort it all out. The defensive qualities, well, it's pitiful. You know, there were 4 men in and around the play-the-ball area there. And the man outside trying to fill in was a prop forward in Nick Fozard.
Well, at the moment, Yorkshire, I'm afraid, as Lancashire continue their celebrations, they look a fairly dispirited bunch. And Brian Noble, champion and World Club champion in his first year in charge at Odsal. Many believe the Great Britain coach in waiting when David Waite wants to pack in coaching himself. Well, he has got a huge problem to overcome in the dressing room at half-time. 24-0. Phil Clark knows him as well as anybody. Phil, can Brian Noble overcome these Yorkshire problems?
Yeah, he'll be disappointed. It's quite the opposite, really, of Friday night when several of the Lancashire players felt that they underperformed. But at this stage, many facets of the Yorkshire side just haven't been up to it, in particular the kicking game. But one man who has been outstanding so far is Sinfield.
Deacon's away. He's got support either side. He goes for Wellens. There is Anthony Stewart. And a good covering tackle back. And it had to be as well from Lee Gilmore. But Lancashire still aren't done. Here is Newton again.
Oh, they're just standing about watching them. They're mesmerised.
Last tackle here for Lancashire. Breers to Sinfield. and wide it goes, and further wide. Chance for Donlan. Good defence this time from Senior and Ryan Sheridan.
Well, not surprising with such a commanding lead, they went for that power play. But there's no spark in this Yorkshire side.
Come on.
Beautiful break by Deacon. Missed tackles.
Second.
Well, they must be getting close to 20. Missed tackles area.
Leon Price, angled run, missed by 2 or 3. Barry McDermott went and missed. Penalty.
17 missed tackles by Yorkshire. You can't even think about getting back into the game, never mind winning it. When you come up with the missed tackle count of 17.
You'd have broken a late run.
So Richard Horne deposits the ball into touch from this penalty. He waited to see if any advantage was forthcoming to Leon Price. There was none, so that's why the penalty's given. 3-2 penalty count in Yorkshire's favour as Carl Pratt finds Ryan Sheridan. That's a good ball to Fozzard.
Well, it seems an eternity that we've seen Yorkshire anywhere near the attacking quarter. They're just going into it now.
Well, here they are with Andy Hay. Good tackle by Kevin Sinfield. Keith Senior, Ryan Sheridan, now then Paul King. And there's no second phase. The ball flicked out the back door. Ryan Sheridan picks up the pieces. Here's Jamie Peacock, and look at that.
69%.
Peacock got the pass away. Horns dropped it. Radlinski gobbles it up. Here comes another Lancashire attack, halted by Andy Hay.
Well, he was showing it. He was shouting at it. Well, I just get the impression that these Yorkshire players have decided they're not going on the big bird down under.
Come on, mate.
There's a drop by the fullback Richard Horne. And to be fair, I've got to be honest with you, they don't deserve a trip round Bridlington Harbour, never mind getting on a jumbo jet.
Lee Breers. Newton, and he just brushed the challenge of Radford away. Breers has supported the attack as he so often does. That's Richard Horne who eventually got to him for Yorkshire. Lancashire in complete and utter charge. Sinfield, lovely dab to the in-goal area. Hodgson nearly missed it, but got it and flicked the ball over the dead ball line. Dropout coming up underneath the posts here for Yorkshire.
Neat little chip through. Wonderful player, isn't he?
So get behind.
Well, that looked like an Italian attempt this afternoon, wasn't it? Not the best.
Yeah.
Dead on the rack.
No point going out to an Italian restaurant this evening, I think. Much better to stay here with us on Sky Sports and watch the origin between Yorkshire and Lancashire, which Lancashire are winning at the moment. That was Keith Senior putting the shoulders to the wheel then to bring David Mills down. McDermott again does so well on offloads. Here's Terry Newton.
But look at that defence. They're not moving forward. They're not getting into the face of the man carrying the ball. They're hesitating. They have lost the plot completely. Look at that. First and second mark at Eddie. Just stunned. They're just standing there.
Malcolm Alker to Deacon. Sinfield. Short ball. There is a try for Johnson. They won't go to the video referee about that. And Paul Johnson and the Lancashire fans who've travelled over the Pennines here, watched by their coach Ian Millwood, they're chanting easy. And it is exactly that. And the mascots from all over the place. We've got mascots from everywhere, and each club in the Super League here this evening and beyond. And they're dancing because they're from Lancashire at the moment.
Well, my white rose has just wilted. Well, I think it wilted a long time ago. That was such a simple effort. Take nothing away from the Lancashire side. Eager, wanting to control the things, but when you allow people like Deacon and Sinfield to run the show, I'm afraid on the opposite side, there's no one out there. What's it going to do? Tell you what it's going to do, mesmerise them. Superb offload yet again from Sinfield. Such a creative player, one of the best in the game.
Well, Johnson, and he seems to enjoy playing the origin, doesn't he, Paul Johnson of Wigan? He played on the wing in all three against the Australians and got a try in the third and deciding test. He's another man, by the way, who hasn't scored since April at club level in the Tetley Super League. And Deacon, he's added another. And right on the stroke of half-time, Lancashire hit the 30 mark. Well, they have run it from start to finish, and Yorkshire, well, no wonder they're just trudging off to the dressing room, because I think they'll be given the rounds of the kitchen by their coach, Brian Noble. But the Lancastrians, they will skip inside that dressing room, and when you think that they're without Andrew Farrell injured, Chris Joint a late withdrawal, and what's more, they've lost Paul Sculthorpe with a bad gash in the mouth, this scoreline is somewhat surprising. Yorkshire have been blitzed in the first half. Lancashire have had the game in their pockets. 5 tries they've scored. Radlinski started the rout after 5 minutes. Johnson right on the bell, ended it. Deacons kicked superbly.
Sky's new interactive service on F1 Digital Plus, you choose how you want to watch Formula One. All 3 days of practice, qualifying and racing.
Can we start this quickly, yes or no?
All live, all uninterrupted, and all interactive. We're setting new standards for sports coverage. The European Grand Prix this weekend. Call 08702 418 111 or see channel 434.
So, see you next week, yeah? Oh, and you're married, right?
This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing.
Life's better when you take control. A Ford Focus.
Without a woman or a girl.
There is a bank that guarantees its interest rates, giving you surprisingly high interest on your money, yet low rates on your overdraft. And an insurance company that wins awards for settling claims for all sorts of accidents with a minimum of fuss. Zurich. If you don't believe it, call us.
And a rude boy come and check out one.
One day, you'll be able to send and receive music on your mobile. Nokia, connecting people.
If only all metal were Flexon. Flexon eyewear has the ability to bend and spring back to shape. Couldn't everyone use more Flexon in their lives? Flexon eyewear, they're just amazing. Durable, comfortable, and lightweight. The best thing is, this is real. Just amazing stuff. Flexon eyewear by Marchand.
Look what I've been doing.
I hope you didn't put all those on the credit card.
Yeah, why?
Do you know what that could do to us?
Don't worry. I used our new Capital One Platinum card.
There is a credit card with a rate that starts low and stays low.
To the neighbors!
Capital One's Platinum card gives you 0% for 6 months and a low long-term APR of 10.7%.
Gotta tell Stephen more about Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Ken, there's an email from Ellen.
Missing you lose.
Connect to the internet with BT Open World anytime. Call 0800 800 801.
Well, more live international rugby union coming up on Saturday. New Zealand against Ireland, Australia against France, and the USA against Scotland. It's live rugby union. It's only on Sky Sports. Here at Headingley, the Origin Series Game 2. I think there's one thing we can say right away. We probably won't need the golden point rule come the end of this match. Lancashire have the game in their pocket, 30 points to 0. We're already checking the records. The highest score for Lancashire in these fixtures, 45 points. 45 points to 20 at St Helens in 1963. The widest margin in that match, and also 33 points to 8 at Widnes in 1977. Lancashire are on record-breaking course. Brian Noble has the biggest rebuilding job of his professional coaching career to do over the next 10 minutes or so. I think he'll just tell the Yorkshire players, forget that first half, you're better than that. Let's go out and win the second. What a dream 40 minutes for Lancashire and Ian Millwood. 30 points without reply. It's all gone according to plan. Well, if you're a Yorkshireman, you'd be disappointed, bitterly disappointed by the fact that Lancashire are ahead by such a wide margin, 30 points to 0. Now, David Waite is an honorary POM. He lives in Yorkshire. He's here with Steve-O and me. You must be a bit disappointed with the Yorkshire performance, David. Half happy, half sad?
Oh, yeah, I'm disappointed in the scoreline. I'm over the moon. We've seen that style of football before, haven't we? And it's a beautiful style of football they're playing. It's all well and good to say their attitude's poor and they're not tackling well. It's all about time in possession, field position, and they just haven't had it. And it's not because they haven't wanted to have it. It's because they've been absolutely outplayed. And the style of play versus the width that we talked about before the game has really exposed the last three defenders on each side of the field, and a couple of players in the Lancashire with the ball in hand have been fantastic. And as you say, well, we're looking at the record books. Well, they tell me that the Yorkshire traditions to come back, you've given up on the golden point already. One team can score 30, so can the other team. Don't be so negative. Well, you've just got to say, hey, what can we do about that? How do you get back into the game? And it's simple. Pressure, field position, ball control. And I think the kick from Sheridan, the disallowed try, a couple of penalties that they could have got when they tackled someone into touch, all denied them field position. They wouldn't have spent more than a minute on that sort of halfway. They got poleaxed by a fantastic football team, playing very, very good football. It wasn't that poor. What was poor was some of the responses to great football.
I'll just pose one question to you. Do you think Yorkshire can come back and score 32 points in the second half and not concede any and win this match?
I think Yorkshire can come back into the game, and I think Yorkshire have to know how they get back in the game, and that's Brian's job. How do you get yourself back into a game where you're 30 points behind at half-time? Are you telling me it's never happened before?
No, I'm not telling you that, but I'm saying that today it's unlikely. I've not got the records in front of me whether anyone's come back from 30. I know someone who has, and he'll be looking at the records right now. It's not Steve-O, but there is a man who should be wearing a black tie, I suppose, because Yorkshire have been taken to the cleaners.
Yeah, they certainly have, and believe it or not, I'm wearing white underpants, but it really is one of those nights. Well, I couldn't find a rose. It's as simple as that. I am so proud, and yet I am so disappointed.
Is that why your rose is wilting, by the way?
Something like that, but I can understand David Waite. Yes, Lancashire have played exceptionally well, but when you look at the stats that they've lost and missed 20 tackles, Yorkshire, it's not surprising that Lancashire have come up with something as good as this. It was good work, build-up was good, super stuff coming through to it. But Yorkshire, they're just not at the races at all. Here you see Sheridan, who was just, well, been missing, as most of the Yorkshire side had, and that epitomises the fact that they had a penalty. What did they do? They rushed it. Do you know, I think Yorkshire only came into the Lancashire attacking zone about 4 times in the first half. This is the incident. And, you know, to think, David, that guy has got up from that and he's only got a cut mouth. Now, you mentioned the fact that he got a cut mouth in last year's game, but for all the world, you would have thought that he would have broken his jaw. He's a tough cookie, isn't he?
Well, he certainly is, and unfortunately it was one of his own teammates. Leeds aren't playing St Helens on the weekend, are they? No, it's a credit to them if he's okay. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. You know, sometimes those first diagnoses are a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed. I don't think we'll see Paul Sculthorpe in the second half. There's no need to risk him when you're winning by 30 points to nil. Let's go downstairs and join Phil Clark. And Phil, last year you had a red rose on. We put Steve-O in a white rose. So as a Lancastrian, no wonder you're smiling.
Yeah, very happy. Just waiting to know what time Yorkshire are actually going to turn up for tonight's game. David Waite's talked about some of the Lancashire players who performed well. We've had no Paul Sculthorpe, but we have seen Kevin Sinfield in remarkable form, moving defenders around, creating space for his teammates, and his teammates have run into the gaps and exploited them. Fantastic play too. And the other thing I think that we've seen so evident from the Lancashire side in the first half is the number of offloads they've found. I think it was something that went out of fashion in rugby league throughout the 1990s in Britain, and it's taken the time for it to come back. We must continue to encourage that and to hope that the players keep to do it, because really that's such a crucial element of modern day rugby league. And unfortunately, not one of the top 3 players in Super League this year at offloading is British, so we need to really promote that element within our game.
Well, I'm sure there is no doubt, David Waite, that you won't at this stage even be thinking that you will be taking the entire Lancashire team to Australia with you. There has to be hope for Yorkshire, and earlier on you were trying to provide that hope.
Yeah, I just want to get closer again. I want to see Lancashire's response to some points against them. They're sitting comfortable, hands and heels at the moment, aren't they, heading towards the finishing post. But there's enough character in there, and there's enough quality in their preparation to tell me that if they get the basics right, which is that ball control, yes, they have to come up with a system in defence that's going to stop what's happening to them. Now, I'm not going to tell people how to do that. I'm relying on Brian to tell his side how to do that, and he's got 10 or 15 minutes to get that right. They can do it. It's not a problem.
Would you like to see Lancashire with the real killer instinct now and really go for the throat and go for these records?
I'd like to see Lancashire with the killer instinct, and I'd like to see Yorkshire come back, because they tell me that's historically what they're going to do. So I'd rather preach the return of the blue side and a closer contest in the second half than a runaway victory.
OK, we'll see how it all pans out. It looks like, from our perspective, that Yorkshire are out of it, but David Waite refuses to wave the white flag for Yorkshire. We shall see. We'll see how they respond. We'll see how Lancashire respond to this huge lead they've built up at half-time. It's Yorkshire 0, Lancashire 30, and the big question now is how will both sides respond second half?
Jamie's cooking.
Celebrate the World Cup with 3 4-packs of Bacardi Breezer for £10 at Sainsbury's.
Aye, you know what I mean? So good. Right, oh, hold on here. Hello. Hello? Sarah?
Baby sister.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, okay, put her on. Hello, Brittany. It's Daddy. You what? She's having nightmares. About the wardrobe monsters. There's no such thing as wardrobe monsters. It's the burglars that breaking through the window. That's what you want to be worried about. Sweet dreams. She's gone. 2 more lambooners here. What?
Don't accept anything less than car insurance from More Than.
Lucky!
We offer a maximum no claims bonus which you can keep for life,
Lucky?
should you need it.
That's more than lucky.
Car insurance? Don't accept less than More Than. Call 0800 300 202.
Join the world's largest mobile community. Vodafone. How are you?
In a world of corruption, just don't spend it all in one place. Keep your eyes open, but your mouth shut. We gotta stay tight here. At some point, it's gonna lead back to us. And we could all go to jail. What you know.
Maybe you should think about getting him before they do.
Can get you killed.
I did not do what they're saying that I did.
Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Joaquin Phoenix, James Caan. The Yards, tonight at 10 on Sky Premiere.
Well, the Super League's back this weekend after this Origin break. Friday at 7:30 Sky Sports 1, the Saints against Castleford. Saturday at 7 on Sky Sports 1, Widnes against Leeds. Playoffs in sight for all concerned. Then 2 games from Australia's NRL. Saturday at 10:30 Sky Sports 3, Canterbury against Canberra. And Sunday also at 10:30, but this time on Sky Sports 1, it's Wests against Newcastle. Sky Sports, your rugby league channel. And the Origin series is anything but finely poised. Lancashire have the match in the bag, unless something quite dramatic happens at Headingley here. 30 points to 0, the Red Rose County, but they're doing their best to wind themselves up for this 40 minutes. Well, we've been dredging the record books. We can just tell you that Brian Noble might be able to take some heart from the fact that Huddersfield against Leeds on this ground last year in the Super League, Huddersfield scored 46 points in defeat by 52 against Leeds, the highest score by an away team in the Super League. But this isn't Super League, this is the Origin, and the big question now is, can Yorkshire fight their way back into a game that looks lost? Well, maybe they can. Great chase from the kickoff, led by Mark Calderwood. Paul Whelan's a little fumble, but still, Yorkshire will be looking for much more determination, and I think that Brian Noble will have said, wipe that first half, erase it from your memory, and play for your pride, and play for your places in the Great Britain side and the Great Britain squads to be announced on Monday in this second half. But here come Lancashire again.
I think that one word says it all, Eddie, pride, and they've got to dig deep. They will. They surely can't play defensively as bad as what they did in that first 40 minutes.
This now is Stephen Wild. He's featured in 15 of 19 so far this year for Wigan. Dummy half was Malcolm Olker. Sinfield with the kick through. It's spun off Yorkshire body, and Danny Orr is out there, and here now is Richard Horne.
Well, he's certainly got the quality, hasn't he, Danny Orr, to spark a revival. They realise they've got to get on the score sheet very, very quickly indeed. So they really have got nothing to lose but to try something a little bit more exciting.
Double change, as you can see, by Yorkshire coach Brian Noble. Let's see what he also said at half-time and what was said in the Lancashire dressing room. Bill.
Eddie, it was a pretty realistic Brian Noble I spoke to just a moment ago, admitting that it's going to take an awful big effort from his side to win this game, but they can do a lot to restore their pride, and the first thing they can do is to be a damn sight more competitive about it than they were in the first 40 minutes. They can also be a bit more clinical and a bit more inspired, just as they are now.
And it was Fozzard again on the charge. It was an important tackle from Radlinski. We'll see how this goes in the last tackle for Yorkshire. Back to Bill shortly. Ball out wide on the bounce, picked up by Calderwood and hacked forward. Still in play. Radlinski snuffles it up. It's the turnover back there where that schmozzle took place. Back to Bill.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, that'll at least give Brian Noble a bit of hope. Ian Mulwood, his opposite number, delighted, of course, with the first 40 minutes. Couldn't have gone better for his side, apart from the injury to Paul Sculthorpe. More on that in a moment. But otherwise, he just wants the same from his side to capitalise on what they know is a very lackadaisical Yorkshire defence, which has given them so much room, and probably, by the look of things, is going to continue to do that. Paul Sculthorpe, meanwhile, is still groggy in that Lancashire dressing room. No sign of him coming out to sit on the bench here yet, and he's having stitches in the mouth as as well. But the good news is it's not a broken jaw.
Well, that is good news indeed. And Paul Deacon with the kick downfield, and it wasn't a 40-20.
But it was a good kick nonetheless.
Good effort.
Turn them around. He realises the importance of making sure that they camp in the Yorkshire quarter throughout this game. We saw the stat, didn't we, just before we went to the break, in regards that the control of possession by Lancashire was overwhelming.
Okay, lock in.
Yes, very much one-way traffic in that first 40. Sheridan to Richard Horne. He's away from Wellens this time. Much more enthusiasm on show here in the opening 3.5 minutes of the second half from the Yorkshiremen.
And a little bit more support play, that's also needed.
Mark Hilton gets another chance to impress at this level, and impress he did on Friday, but that's better from Yorkshire, and here goes Hodgson.
Good work by Newton there. Hodgson thought he had it. Oh, a little bit too rough. Got excited, did Terry. Often does. Don't know many hookers that don't. Just a little forearm onto the face. Did well to get back, but
they're teammates, these two, in club football. Fossard.
Well, it was a good break by this fella. And he needs to work overtime.
Danny Orr helps it wide to Sheridan, and here is Paul King.
It's obvious that the tactics now. Brian Noble has said to Danny Orr, going first man, and he's there yet again.
Yes, Danny Orr, little check. Spins, tries to get the pass away. Richard Horne put it down. Play on, says the referee. Sheridan and Andy Hay. Well, they're trying to breathe life into their challenge, the Yorkshiremen. Sheridan, King. All down by Olker and by Mark Hilton. Diskin. Sheridan. Quick play the ball. Hay off the ground. Diskin. Diskin.
He'll get head and feed. Can't get it down.
I think it was on the last.
Turnover.
It's the turnover.
Yeah.
Turnover.
Well, that'll lift the spirits.
Hands out.
Obviously trying something a little bit different, and as I mentioned before, the fact that Danny Orr will go in there and try to control things. They've shoved Ryan Sheridan into the second receiver.
Steve O'Pointer was going to make it half-time, but didn't quite have the time and opportunity to do it. Mine went back a fortnight ago when St Helens were here against Leeds, and 6-0, and Leeds had a try chalked off by the video referee, and we all know what happened in that game. It's followed a very similar pattern.
Certainly has, and of course...
And same coach, of course.
And also, remember, in that particular game, Leeds came up with nearly 20 missed tackles, as have Yorkshire in that first half. Sometimes stats tell you a lot. Sometimes they can be a little bit misleading, but not today.
Come on, lads.
Senior over the top of Stephen Wild. Kevin Sinfield dummy half. Here is Deacon. And a high kick. And Calderwood's after this. Oh, he's made a right mess of it. Try beckoning here for Lancashire. Has he got it, Anthony Stewart?
I think he knocked on.
Oh, it's play on.
Yep, he's knocked on. He's got to look for the advantage.
Here's Calderwood.
Great refereeing by Steve Ganson. He said to Calderwood,
he's going back. He's going back.
Oh, he wants to go to the screen now.
Well, he wants to check on the video referee. He gave Yorkshire the opportunity to run the ball out of danger.
We go back to the first tackle.
Do you know there are times, Eddie, I wish you see that thing that's in his ear, right? This is a knockback. Definitely knocked back by Calderwood. And I think Stewart actually knocks on. Raging through for it. Yeah. Knocked on. But I can't believe that the referee says, go on, play on, and then he brings them back to have a look. As I mentioned before, sometimes it can help when you've got someone in the stands giving you advice, but sometimes it interferes with them. No try.
No try, and we go back to the first tackle. And to be fair, he's given Yorkshire the advantage there and brought them back 30 metres upfield, which is better for Yorkshire than being down in that corner. King. I know what you're saying about that earpiece. To his feet, Diskin. Gilmore. Offloads well, Diskin. Sheridan. Danny Orr, knock on.
Oh, he said play on. I think they were fortunate there.
Little word comes to mind there, charity.
Well done.
Hodgson. Good tackle, Mark Hilton. Stephen Wild there as well.
Surprised me you knew the name of that. Charity. Oh, bad mistake.
That's a knock-on.
Yeah.
It's a knock-on, up, Nick. Knock-on. Bad luck, mate.
Just been solid, hasn't it, by Lancashire, both in attack and defence. They've got into the faces there.
Better doing that than calling
Little fella, Paul Deacon, made sure that Fozzard,
25 yards, you see.
no control of that football.
All right, stay with that. Okay. Okay.
Deacon feeds the scrum. This is Wellens.
First, come on!
And to go straight over the top of Danny Orr, and Danny Orr did well to haul Wellens down on halfway. Lee Breers. Be looking for a big second half, Breers.
Well, with such a commanding lead, 30 points already on the board, it often transpires that a lot of the players, that'll be a knock-on from Redlinski, it often transpires, Eddie, that sides just go a little bit more individual play because they want to impress. You can't blame them. But it was a team spirit and the team effort, and they really worked hard for each other. This is the knock-on. Not the best pass, but so impressive. This Lancashire side fully deserved to have, and some of the tries were outstanding.
Richard Horn now. Good defence on show then again from the Lancastrians in the shape of Paul Johnson. This is Keith Senior. He's brushed away from Kevin Sinfield, and Senior's down the touchline, and Senior's going to score a marauding try for Yorkshire, bringing it back underneath the posts, right underneath the sticks for Keith Senior. Well, there's one Yorkshireman who's done something to impress the Great Britain coach David Waite. A marauding run down the left-hand touchline. He's been in that sort of form all year. One of their main attacking threats on Friday. And Yorkshire, an interested spectator, Darryl Powell, the coach of Leeds, and he's seen Keith Senior do that so often this year for the Rhinos.
Wonderful effort. Went on the inside, they went high on him. He's such a strong fella. I think he surprises a lot of people with his speed, actually. It's certainly improved this season, and that is a fine effort. Sinfield went for the hit, just a little bit too high. That is a wonderful try, and it's just what the doctor ordered. Right under the sticks. Easy for this fella.
Danny Orr's out to the extras. 30 points to 6 now. Deficit is cut. Well, if they do come back, it'll be one of the comebacks of all time, one of the upsets of all time in a second half performance. But Senior has got them going on the terraces with their chance of Yorkshire.
Well, they've got the 6 points in the opening 11 minutes. So who knows? Ooh, well done by Calderwood there.
It was.
Just dipped to one side. Oof, look how it just dipped. Fantastic play there. Look at that defence, though.
Lancashire would have had head and feet at the scrum if that ball had gone over the whitewash. So well done, Calderwood. This is Hodgson now. There's Mark Calderwood, one of the most improved players in the Super League this year. Gilmore.
The swarming defence, they are just shutting Yorkshire down. It was through sheer force and strength from Senior that got him away. He avoided the Sinfield tackle. But this will lift them, it has to.
Sheridan with a kick over the top, turning Wellens around and Stewart. And there is Stewart. Bounces off one. And that's great news. Paul Sculthorpe will not be taking any further part in this match. As you can see, he's got changed, but he's back out, and he looks bright as a button, even though he'll have some stitches in the mouth, and it'll be very, very painful.
Well, he won't be having a curry tonight, that's for sure.
No, definitely not.
He's a tough hombre.
Look at that, they're the battle scars of Origin football. O'Connor.
Just a great workhorse, isn't he, O'Connor? And One thing that has impressed me as well, Barry McDermott, yet again.
Gone without it.
Play on.
Andy Hay has it for Yorkshire. Well, have Lancashire fatally taken the foot off the gas? Here's Anthony Farrell. David Waite was looking for killer instinct from Lancashire, looking for a revitalised Yorkshire. At the moment, he's got the revitalised Yorkshire. Danny Orr. Lovely step. He's got support from Diskin. They're in again, Yorkshire. Diskin with the try. Well, he doesn't still look terribly impressed. There's a long, long way to go, but it's going to be 30 points to 12 in a moment, and Matthew Diskin right under the sticks, and the combined army from Yorkshire at last have got something to shout about.
Good move. The mere fact that Noble brought onto the field of play Danny Orr has made all the difference, and it's this time for Lancashire to just hesitate in defence. Well, have they put the cue on the rack? They may have. Great combination, half-back and hooker. Happens so many times.
Orr adds 2 more points. Yorkshire 12, Lancashire 30.
Could we?
Surely, surely not. David Waite will be proved to be the tipster of all time if it happens. Matt Diskin. Well, talking of tipsters, here's Clarkey again with a belter, I'm sure. Can they come back, Phil?
Oh, easily, yeah, bugs of time. You know what I'm like. I tell you what, they've played well, haven't they? What a revitalised side they've come out in the second half, and look very, very impressive. I think one of the important things is if they can get the ball to Keith Senior as much one-on-one against anybody in the Lancashire side, he's a threat, as he's shown. He just likes the ball early and likes the ball with a few metres at which to step and swerve past his opponents.
Well, Lancashire will be just a little bit concerned about this because Yorkshire have got the roll on.
Well, not only that, they're looking to offload, and they're also getting the support. It was non-existent in the first half, and it just shows you how important the coach Brian Noble brings on.
Out the rock. I like it, Ron. Back here, Matthew.
Just trying to say that Brian Noble, you know,
there was infringement in the ruck.
To make such a decision, bring on Danny Orr, and within the first couple of minutes you could see that he'd taken control, moved Sheridan out wide.
Clear the rocks, lads.
Well, Brian Noble will not want to let this go lightly, and Ian Millwood just looks slightly more concerned than maybe he was at half-time. Here's Paul King, and they have the better of the penalty count, and they have much more of the possession, and that's another penalty.
Yeah, interference.
No, don't do it.
Well, silly play there by Sinfield. Not only did he take his time to get away from the tackle, he put his foot in the mould there.
This is Sheridan. Andy Hay.
Oh, good defence.
It was Sinfield who was first to him. Stephen Wilde helping. Diskin, he's got another. Diskin's got another. Oh, don't tell me we have got the comeback on the way. I wrote them off at half-time. Anybody would at 30-0. They're winning the second half. 16-0, kick to come.
Hey,
and there's still nearly half an hour left to play.
This is good work. The attitude better. They're doing exactly what Lancashire did in the first half, running the angles. That's quick thinking there by Diskin. The Leeds hooker picked it well, kept low. Sheer strength. What an effort. It took some scoring, but it's Lancashire now who are suffering. They're falling off the defensive pattern. And as Eddie's mentioned, the roll is on. Gee, it's great to be a Yorkshireman, isn't he?
Well, 3 tries in 7 minutes has suddenly changed this game around. And Danny Orr's kicking is proving very, very important. It's 30 points to 18. Yorkshire now back within 2 converted tries. Well, Yorkshire are giving Ian Proctor, our statistician, a dog's life tonight because he's searching the record books, and there's a little bit of a concerned look now on the Lancashire bench. We can remember a Division 2 Premiership final at Old Trafford in 1990. Oldham trailed 29-6 at the break, and they went on to beat Hull KR 30 points to 29. It's not quite the mountain that Yorkshire had to climb, but it was close. And Yorkshire at the moment, they've got the ropes on, they've got the crampons on, and they're having a go up this mountain.
Well, I also can remember a few years ago, Eddie, that Halifax was taking Bradford to the cleaners. Then Bradford came back.
Yes, they did in Super League, I remember that night.
But that's a bad mistake at a time when they're on the roll. He knows it too. Just took his eye off the football. No one has to tell him how important that can be.
Lock it in, lock it in.
Here goes Kevin Sinfield. Oh, good ball to Chris Radlinski.
Come on.
Sinfield again. Here is Deacon. Oh, they nearly lost it then, Stankovic, but it's now Yorkshire who are like little Yorkshire Terriers in defence. O'Connor!
Great run from the prop forward.
Well, this is the sort of match we expected in the first half. Yorkshire have just turned up, and here's Deacon. Great tackle, Andy Hay.
They're digging deep.
Well, the heat's turned up, there's no doubt about that. Chances here. Oh, great try, is it? Did he bounce it, Mark Hilton? The referee will go back now and have a look.
Same as before.
He'll have a look via the video referee. Did Mark Hilton ground the ball, or has he lost it?
Hang on.
Oh,
I think he may have lost it, yeah. He shook his head. He may have given himself away. They'll go frame by frame.
All right, okay, hang on.
Yeah, he's just lost it at the vital moment, the impact. But wonderful work from the forwards. They got him in that position. That's a shame. Fully deserved it there, Mark Hilton. This will be NOTOI.
Well, second time in this series that Mark Hilton's been denied a try. He just bounced one over the line, if I remember rightly, on Friday as well. Mark Hilton's face cut to ribbons. Don't let anyone tell us that this Origin series isn't a full-blooded affair. It really is. Well, I just wondered whether that was the revival snuffed out, but here they go. It's Carl Pratt taking on Wellens. Wellens has missed him. Pratt's away to the corner. Yorkshire are in. Oh, dearie me, what was he doing?
Celebrating.
Well, Brian Noble allows a little smile to cross his face. Carl Pratt, well, it wasn't the greatest way to score a try, but the Bullman thought so. First time he's probably cheered a Leeds player in his life. But Carl Pratt of Leeds Rhinos, and there's Ronnie, has scored the fourth Yorkshire try here. 4 tries in 11 minutes. Lancashire cannot believe what's happening to them.
Well, there's a time to celebrate, and I can assure you, it's not before you plonk the football down. Great effort, you can't take that away from him. Good step. He's hard to beat as well, and it was a good fend too. But he was celebrating.
Or did he lose his feet?
Well,
let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Watch the face here. When he makes the break, fends off Wellens. Yes, oh, you beauty. Hang on.
Well, if the ball had come out of his arm then,
precisely,
he'd have dug a big hole and jumped in it. Danny Orr has kicked another. Can't believe this. I cannot believe this. 24 points to 30. Well,
do you sell this on Broadway?
Well, David Waite tipped this, and there is David Waite taking a quick look, and he said at half-time, he took us to task, he took me to task. He said, don't be such a pessimist. Why can't Yorkshire come back?
But someone's on my side.
And they're coming back. Listen to this crowd here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What a night already. And Danny Orr has it. It wasn't supposed to be a short kick-off. It just flew into Danny Orr's legs. Well, Yorkshire now will have the belief.
And more importantly is the fact that we've just crept into the final quarter.
18 minutes to go. No, 20 minutes to go.
Come on, here.
Well, I dismissed the golden point at half-time. Anthony Farrell.
You might still have to dismiss it. Yorkshire in this mood.
Diskin to Peacock, back to Farrell. Farrell, tackled by Newton, tackled also by Radlinski, who's operating now in the centres. Wellens is at full-back, second half.
Now it's Lancashire that are a bit leaden-footed. They're not moving up. They're really on the last legs.
That's a great kick. Senior palms it back. They're going to get in again. They are with Pratt again. Second try for Carl Pratt. This is the most incredible comeback of all time. The kick to come to make it 30 all.
5 tries in the second half, all of them scored by a Leeds player. And the Southern stand here has gone absolutely bananas, and rightly so. I'll be getting on to David Waite and saying we should fill out the pools, the lottery, the lotto, call it whatever you want.
I hope it gives us 6 numbers.
This is amazing. Wonderful kick. Danny Orr has turned this game around. Senior did ever so well. Got over the top. Bang! Radford's pass makes it all worthwhile. It's been the difference, no doubt in my mind. Danny Orr, he's turned this game upside down. And the 5th try, Pratt's number 2.
Well, Danny Orr has come on and made such a difference. He's kicked 4 goals from 4 attempts, none of them, well, there was 1 or 2, I suppose, under the post. But Lancashire cannot believe what's going on, and neither can I. And if Danny Orr kicks this, we have a level playing field. And Yorkshire from somewhere have come back. He's kicked. He's missed it.
Oh. The groans around the crowd.
30 points to 28. 2 for Carl Pratt. What a match we have now at Headingley. This is unbelievable. And, well, David Waite said at half-time, nothing was impossible. Mr. Waite, sir, I bow to your better judgment. Where did you write the script for this?
Mate, the game goes for 80. You know, you don't coach if you give up at half-time, and football players don't do it.
Just unbelievable. I mean, all right, you tipped it, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but surely you couldn't have tipped this. You couldn't have believed this was going to happen. Surely.
Well, if you don't believe in it, it's not going to happen. It's quite simple, and those players aren't going to go on sitting there and can't believe it's going to happen. They shouldn't be playing football if they think that way, and they've answered the call.
And it must be doing your heart good.
Well, it's a bit, it's fine tingling now, isn't it?
Just a little. Just a little. 2 points the difference, and Yorkshire looking the more likely.
Well, it's an amazing thing, confidence. We often speak about it, the fact that if you do get the roll on, but this man really has turned it around. Straight down the throat, not the best kick, but look at the chase. It was non-existent in that first 40. They are working as a unit. They're doing exactly what Lancashire did in the first half. They are eager and they're up for it. And we have to now see whether Lancashire can dig deep.
Well, they're going to have to, because suddenly Yorkshire do have this belief. And here is McDermott.
Well, the defence now is hurting the opposition. They really are giving it to them.
O'Connor charging onto the football, offloads to Radlinski. Radlinski then, inside it goes. And here is Malcolm Alker. Newton, Deacon, Sinfield ran the show first half. Good ball that to Wild. Great defence, flick back.
Did well to get it away. That was excellent play by Wild.
Here is Wellens.
Now it's important Lancashire just calm it down, make sure the pressure is, and hope that Yorkshire come up with a mistake.
Deacon with a high kick out wide. Stewart gets it, flicks it. Hodgson clears up for Yorkshire and gets out of trouble as well.
No advantage. He's had a good game, Steve Ganson. Watch this from Wild. That is a great second effort. Under pressure. There's a knock-on from Stewart.
No advantage, so the referee ordered the turnover 10 metres away from the Yorkshire line. Let's hear from Phil Clark again. We've got Mr. Waite up here, Phil. He wrote the script, you know.
Well, he's enjoying it, and so am I. I mean, the amazing thing about confidence is you don't know where it comes from or where it goes to. But we've managed to get to a situation now which is very much like a test match, going into the final quarter. Very, very close. Both sides playing now at 100% intensity. And the large part to me wants Yorkshire just to win this, because I'll tell you what, Golden Point Rugby League is the most exciting rugby league you will ever see.
Hear to that, but there are one or two players out there who will want the match over and done with in the second half. But Danny Orr starting to run the show, and it's really clicking for Yorkshire. Price, Sheridan, that's a better kick. It's a lovely kick over the top. Well mopped up by Wellens.
Did well. Look how eager they are now. They wanted to make the tackle. Is he over? No, the ball's still in the field of play. They're rocking Lancashire.
And Yorkshire are piling in. Well, they've turned up at half-time. What on earth did Brian Noble say to them?
Belief, confidence, and a bit of pride.
This now is O'Connor. And Lancashire suddenly trapped in their own quarter on the last tackle. It'll have to be a good kick. Deacon gets it away. Belter down the middle.
Dissected the winger and the full back. Oh, it's a very slow chase, though. That indicates to me that Lancashire a little bit tired. How much have they got in the tank? Still hold the lead. Slim 2 points.
Second, hold here.
Oh, he lost that.
He did. And he's got him for the knock-on, Lee Radford. And we're just wondering up here now whether there is a magnet down the left-hand side of the field, Steve-O, because all 10 tries we've seen tonight have been scored down at that far end.
You know, it's an amazing stat that when you look through most of the games, wherever the biggest crowd and the biggest roar, it seems to attract them. You know, like you watch young kids playing rugby league, they all follow the ball. Sometimes they follow their fans.
Well, now it's Lancashire's turn to counter, and they will with Radlinski. Here is Barry McDermott, stands and offloads as he does so well. Radlinski again. Great tackle. Danny Orr, the Castleford skipper, inspired in this second half.
And to be fair, Lancashire, they're trying their best. It isn't as though they've just thrown the towel in. They haven't, I can assure you. They're trying to get through it, but when you've got defence against you like that,
Hodgson and Diskin.
It takes the stuffing out of you.
Terry O'Connor, away from one, comes back for another go, takes on Anthony Farrell. Willing worker is Terry O'Connor.
Wouldn't surprise me if Lancashire pay Yorkshire the biggest respect by the fact that if they get anywhere near the post, they'll go for the 1 point.
Oh, McDermott offloaded that, and Danny Orr has it back. Calderwood, looping pass. Sheridan, senior, his try lifted them. What a pass! That pass to Carl Pratt. Radlinski with a wonderful tackle. Diskin, Sheridan. They're flooding forward in white. Peacock offloads. Gilmore, they have 2 men out wide. Hodgson's one of them. He comes back towards the post.
He lost control. That was a shame.
And Radlinski will counter for Lancashire.
That was the best build-up of the entire game. He'll be disappointed.
Okay, no penalty.
Well, the pace of this game, not surprisingly, there's a few out there that are really blowing. They're hanging on grimly. There was no interference from Stankovic.
Terry O'Connor, another punishing run up the middle.
Second.
Almost to halfway. Alker is the dummy half. Barry McDermott. White ball! Great ball to Wellens.
We have seen some absolute superb handling skills here tonight.
Alker, Deacon. Deacon gets the ball away to Wellens. Newton out wide to Stewart. Yorkshire.
Calderwood and Newton. Newton pushed him away.
It's all right. Come on, all right.
Deacon. Sinfield. Wide it goes. Johnson. Big hit by Pratt. Just did enough. But has he only delayed it? Donlan.
Well, this has been a classic, this second half.
Sinfield down the short side. Stankovic. Great pass. Stankovic try. Sinfield created it. John Stankovic with the try doesn't draw as much applause from the crowd, but Stankovic's try was created by Kevin Sinfield. And maybe, just maybe, that will take the wind somewhat out of the Yorkshire sails. We shall see.
Well, over the past couple of minutes, we've seen some excellent skills in that handling department. Sinfield yet again bringing someone back on the inside. Oh, that was great work. Nice step from Stankovic too. We saw a few moments ago, it was Senior that sent Pratt away with an outstanding pass and offload. Then it was Barry McDermott. Now we've seen it from the master himself. Sinfield putting this guy in.
Well, an ever-present for St Helens this year. He has actually started all 7 in Super League since he was a substitute in the Challenge Cup final, John Stankovic. And has a try to his name now in the Origin for Lancashire. Crowd have just gone a little quiet, but still plenty of time left. Important kick now for Deacon. South Stand doing their best to put him off. Good kick. Good kick from Deacon. 36 points to 28, so it's an 8-point lead for Lancashire. Stankovic scored it, laid on by Kevin Sinfield. Brian Noble's men have to come again.
Well, they'll go for the short one, surely. He knows that they have to get possession. And that was wonderful to see young Paul Deacon there. You talk about digging deep and keeping your confidence and your cool. He certainly did that.
It is a short kick-off. Danny Orr, it hangs in the air, palm back by Leon Price. Off Malcolm Alker, who gets up quickly, plays it to Sinfield. There is Deacon, here now is Stankovic.
Second, come on!
And Newton again.
You know, Eddie, and I know it's pretty close to the full time, but I really don't think that Lancashire will just close it down.
Come on!
They'll keep it alive. They haven't had much possession through this second half, and they want to prove that they are well and truly the best.
Bottom line is Yorkshiremen have their pride back after this second half. There's no doubt about that. Deacon, Hilton. Last tackle. Yorkshire about to get it back, or are they? Deacon hoists the kick. Now then.
Plenty of height on this one.
Well claimed, Leon Price. Away from the first tackle, not away from the second. It flew in from McDermott.
You know, sometimes, Eddie, one of the most important things in the dressing room at half-time is a mirror. And these Yorkshire fellas have done just that. They've had a good look and said, come on. We got absolutely blitzed in that first 40. Now it's our turn.
Drive upfield is by Jamie Peacock.
I don't think there's one player out there that hasn't got a piece of bark off him.
Sheridan pops it back to Fozzard. Fozzard has to take the tackle, the last one. Now then, here is Sheridan. Angled kick to turn Radlinski around. Bounces nicely for Radlinski. Chase from Danny Orr is superb. Stewart in at dummy half for Lancashire. Good ball, Wellens.
A little bit excitable there. Wellens too experienced to be involved.
Oh, big hit on McDermott. Hodgson and Senior. Here's Mark Hilton. Great driving again. Alker, Stankovic, back it goes to Deacon, wide then to Sinfield. There's the kick, it's an invitation to chase. Newton's after it. Price is back at fullback. Steps, great chase by Newton.
Superb play by the hooker.
But a quick play the ball again by Yorkshire. Calderwood.
Well, it was a solo effort from Newton. He really put himself about to make sure that Price didn't get the momentum.
Touch on the ball.
And before the
Ben Westwood to his feet.
Before the full-time whistle, Eddie, I've got to pay tribute to Steve Ganson. He's let it flow. He's had a fine game.
Sheridan. Danny Orr. On the charge. Peacock again.
Here we are.
And there's the Lancashire bench. Andrew Farrell. Ian Millwood. Behind him, Lee Breers.
Leave the kicker!
A little dab over the top. Well cleaned up by Sinfield. He's been all over the park tonight.
Back behind, Matt. Okay, mate, we're all right. Hold it, touch on the ball.
He sure has. I know you often get criticised, Eddie, for saying it's a game of two halves, but this certainly has, hasn't it?
It has been. The old cliche.
Of course.
O'Connor. Peacock again with an important tackle. Lancashire 10 metres inside their own half with McDermott.
You know, there's been some great work from the forwards. They have worked tirelessly. McDermott's one of them. O'Connor. Fozzard's had his moments.
Yes. And those prop forwards rarely get the accolades they deserve. They rarely get watches for man of the match.
20 lads.
Deacon's kick too deep.
All behind you.
It'll be a tap on the 20 from Yorkshire. Lancashire's defence then will line up across the field. And here is Fozzard.
And full credit to this Lancashire side. You know, with Yorkshire on such a roll, it looked as though they were going to just capitulate. They didn't. They dug deep, and they produced a fine try. And not surprisingly, created by Sinfield for that last one from Stankovic.
Just 3 minutes to go. 8 points the difference. Lancashire 3 minutes away from wrapping up the Origin series. Sheridan disappears under that tackle, right on the halfway line. King.
Well, I must say, Eddie, do you know what this second half has done? Not just for the Yorkshire pride, but for this series complete. And they'll all look forward to it next season. It has proved to be a winner.
Hodgson, still not giving it up. Calderwood now. Collared by Hilton.
It was on the last. Turnover. Well, Mark Hilton, he can hardly walk. Calderwood, not many opportunities, but he's done his job. They've all done their job. Okay, first half, Yorkshire were disappointed.
Come on, Nick.
And they have dug deep.
Don't give up.
But I think you'd have to say that throughout this game, that the skill of Lancashire fully deserves their victory. I think they'll hang on now.
Come on.
Here's Olker. Now McDermott again.
Third. Come on, mate. Hold it, hold it, hold it.
Well, Ian Millwood's Lancashire will edge ahead in the overall match totals. 43 wins apiece prior to tonight. 44-43 now, if Sinfield has anything to do with it.
Clear, Jamie!
He just keeps going all the time. I mean, he's such a creative player, but you see him there helping out by running onto the football. That's good tactics from Deacon. Let's get out of here. They'll set up their one line of defence, eats up the clock. There you can see they're all lining up.
Well, this series is 107 years old. All level prior to tonight, 43 wins each. Yorkshire still haven't given it up, but now maybe they have. Carl Pratt bundled into touch by Kevin Sinfield.
Who else?
Been a brave effort from Brian Noble in his second half. Ian Millwood's men won it by half-time.
Well, we've been talking about the players having a bit of pride. Don't worry, Brian Noble would not have wanted a whitewash and to have been absolutely taken to the cleaners.
Well, it just shows you sport is wonderful because of its unpredictability. And the only man who believed that this was possible at half-time was the Great Britain coach David Waite.
I think the players might have, Eddie, as well. And they produced it.
There's a fumble. Yorkshire will have it, but there's only, what, 20 seconds remaining?
Yorkshire head and feed.
Well, it's a feed, kick and chase, over the top. Rydlinski hasn't gone back yet.
Over here, forming up.
I think I would be wanting to go back, but Rydlinski quite happy to stay in the blind side. It's got to be a kick and chase situation. Here we go. Rydlinski set off. Can Calderwood show the speed?
Calderwood's after it, but it finds touch. Stewart was content to allow it to go. What an excellent second half. Lancashire win it, and by winning the match here, they win the Origin series. And they've rewritten the history books because it's the first time in over 50 years that they have won 3 games in a row against Yorkshire. Carl Pratt came up with 2 tries in the second half. The revival was started by Keith Senior, number 4 there for Yorkshire, with his try 10 minutes into the second half. Then we had, well, 4 tries in the space of 11 minutes, 5 in the space of 13. We thought the impossible was about to happen. In the end, it was John Stankovic's try, 7 minutes from time, that brings us this scoreline of Yorkshire 28, Lancashire 36. And the man of the match, not the man of the series, Sky Sports man of the match, who wins the Tissot watch, is Kevin Sinfield of Lancashire. There he is with Bill.
Kevin, congratulations on a man of a match performance, but that second half must have been a bit hairy for Lancashire.
Yeah, first of all, thanks to Tissot, and can I just wish commiserations to Alex Gibbon. He died today, used to be a great player at Oldham Rugby. But yeah, it was a difficult game today. I think it was a game of 2 halves. We were pretty disappointed with that second half. We slacked off and missed a lot of tackles, but credit to Yorkshire. They're a great side full of stars, and they really gave us a tough battle in the end.
A lot of people were doubting whether it would be a tough battle. You've played in both the games. Just how tough has it been?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty shattered now, and we're thankful it's not gone to the third decider. But yeah, it's what all the players want. Rep football. It's a great concept, and long may it continue.
Were you dreading Golden Point at the Italian experience?
Yeah, I think we were. Yeah, I think we'd have settled for penalties and kicks at goal.
Well then, Kevin.
Cheers, Bill.
Kevin Sinfield, the Sky Sports man of the match. A similar scoreline to last year on this ground, when Lancashire won 36 points to 24. Tonight, 36 points to 28. And a second half to savour from Brian Noble and his men. And Steve-O says they also had the belief. And the man who made a huge contribution to the Yorkshire cause, Danny Orr, is talking to Bill.
Danny, the second half, what a transformation. I mean, you came on, but what a transformation in the Yorkshire side.
Yeah, you know, we had a good talk at half-time. A poor first half, just dropped too much ball. And, you know, quite excited like Lancashire, going to capitalise on that. And I think we cut that out second half, got on a roll more. You know, showed what we could do in the end. And
it was just one of those situations where everything, in the second half, everything was going your way for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did, but, you know, that's because we just played simple, but played smart. You know, we completed sets, got to a kick, and just kept getting on roll, just like Lancashire did first half. And, you know, on the point, points came out back of that.
And did you think when you got them back within, I think, 2 points, that you really could go on and snatch it?
Yeah, you know, we had you know, momentum with us, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, a couple of drop balls here and there towards the back last 10 minutes, and you know, they scored a try that finally killed us off.
Well, it was a great game. Thanks, Danny.
Cheers, mate.
Was a great game, and Lancashire have won the Origin series. I don't know whether we can actually catch what's being said in the PA system inside the ground, but the Roy Powell medal is about to go to the man of the series. And Helen Powell and the children are there to present the Roy Powell medal to the man of the series.
The award for the man of the series, the Roy Powell medal, goes to Lancashire's Terry O'Connor.
Well, I said in commentary that the prop forwards rarely get the accolades that they deserve, but Terry O'Connor, judged by the coaching staff of Lancashire and Yorkshire, and significantly David Waite, wins the Roy Powell medal. And well done, Terry O'Connor. And so fitting that he picks up the medal, because of course the late great Roy Powell was a wholehearted forward in his own right. And Terry O'Connor, a very fitting recipient of the Roy Powell medal as man of the series. You might have noticed one or two famous faces up there on the presentation podium. We have Peter Fox to present to the Yorkshiremen. Peter Fox, once upon a time, was coach of Yorkshire and a victorious coach as well. And Eric Ashton, legendary figure, to present to the Lancashire players the commemorative medals. And Richard Lewis will present the trophy as well. And there he is, the executive chairman of the Rugby Football League, Richard Lewis.
The Yorkshire team will now receive their commemorative medals for being runners-up in the Origin 2002 series. Give them a warm round of applause. They've made a massive contribution.
And Peter Fox to present. As Andrew Whitelam of the Rugby Football League said, they've made a massive contribution to the success of this series. And they are led up to receive their silver medals from Peter Fox by their captain, Ryan Sheridan. Anthony Farrell, welcome back to representative football. What a display from Danny Orr and Paul King. Wonder which of these players Steve-O has caught the eye of David Waite and who will be involved come Monday morning in the test, and who knows, the series against the Kiwis.
Well, I'm sure he's got a great idea now. The most important factor to me, and I'm sure to David, is the fact that the commitment was shown, and it shows you the pride in the British players that they can dig deep. And I think it's good to think that an Australian like David Waite had the faith. He said at half-time, don't write them off. They did come back, and it must be very pleasing for any coach, never mind at the highest level at Great Britain, to know that all the players there, they have deserved their medals, they have played their part. And as I said earlier, Eddie, it has made this series, and all the fans will be looking forward very, very eager indeed to next year. I am.
Well, Peter Fox coached at Yorkshire 8 times and he won them all. 6 against Lancashire, 1 against New Zealand, 1 against Papua New Guinea, just for the record books. From the Lancashire team now, the victorious Lancashire team come up to receive the trophy and their medals from Eric Ashton. Lee Breers had a busy little match when he came on. They had the game won by half-time. They didn't really believe what hit them in the second half. We credit Yorkshire for that. And I think Paul Sculthorpe, even though Andrew Farrell is out there, I think it's going to be Paul Sculthorpe who happily appears to be recovered from the serious injury. He led them on the field tonight. There is Paul Sculthorpe. Now, will it be him or will it be Andrew Farrell who goes up to receive the trophy from Richard Lewis?
I just get the feeling, Eddie, it might be a combined effort. No, they're giving it to the big fella.
It is the big fella, Barry McDermott. And how interesting that number 8 for Yorkshire was Nick Fossard. And he had a real battle royal with Barry McDermott throughout this series, beginning with that bout of fisticuffs, which ended up with them both spending 10 minutes in the sin bin on Friday night at Wigan. Lancashire are the Origin champions of 2002. They are the Origin Series winners. They'll take the trophy home back across the Pennines. Jubilant scenes for the Lancastrians. Yorkshire, though, made it a great game in the second half. Lancashire win 36-28.
A formidable lineup.
This is brilliant batting from Tendulkar.
Former world champions. Two of the best one-day cricket teams face the pride of England. With 10 unpredictable encounters live only on Sky Sports, who will emerge victorious in what promises to be an exciting and eventful series, and go interactive for a choice of angles, statistics and audio.
That's how it's done.
The NatWest Series, coming soon, Sky Sports 1 and Extra.
What's new, pussycat? What's new? The new Jaguar S-Type.
Oh, sorry, Bob, you see that?
Thanks, Mike.
Share the thrill of the World Cup with BT Together's free UK calls, weekends, evenings and early in the morning.
Now, George.
Hello?
Come on, get your skates on, you're going to miss the football.
Are you winding me up?
George?
That's its leg. Can you see there? That's the hand. It's so beautiful. Amazing. So, are you looking forward to the big day?
Yeah, very excited.
Subject to the following terms and conditions: no pain, no stretch marks, no varicose veins, returning to part-time work, buying house at 32 Petunia Crescent, baby not inheriting father's nose.
Because people everywhere have small print too, your local HSBC is offering a face-to-face discussion to help you plan for the future. The Individual Review from HSBC, the world's local bank.
Put your hands right on top of your head. You're under arrest.
Three award-winning cop series from the US, back to back. Non-stop police drama, weeknights on Hallmark, Channel 190.
There is a bank that guarantees its interest rates, giving you surprisingly high interest on your money, yet low rates on your overdraft. And an insurance company that wins awards for settling claims for all sorts of accidents with a minimum of fuss. Zurich. If you don't believe it, call us.
Sorry, mate. You're useless!
Show me the silver, show me the gold.
Clark, is it true you're moving to Italy? What about the baby? Okay.
Carlsberg aren't football agents, but if we were, we'd probably be the best football agents in the world.
Come on, Oliver. Come on, you can do it. Come on, now, concentrate. Go on. Go on. Go on, Oliver. Go on. Go on. Go on. Yes. Yes. We won.
We came fifth.
Did he?
Well, this is the way it ended up, 36 points to 28. Lancashire win it, but it by no means tells the story of a quite extraordinary night here at Headingley. And Lancashire were ahead by 30 points to 0 at half-time. Yorkshire, though, got up off the canvas and fought their way back into a match, and they could easily have nicked it, you know. They scored 5 tries in about 13 minutes, and well, the only man in the crowd who thought that it could possibly happen was David Waite, the Great Britain coach, who's been here with Steve O'Mee all night. You wrote the script, didn't you? You knew that was coming.
I'd love to say yes, wouldn't I? No, but from a coaching and playing perspective, at 30-0, the game's not over. There's another 40 minutes. If they can do it, so can you. But what happens, of course, is that the good players actually stand up. And that's what you come here for, to see what happens when things are going wrong. And things were going wrong. And if you have a look at the players who stood out in the recovery of Yorkshire, they've done themselves some terrific favours, haven't they? Likewise, when it was down to the wire for decisions, Kevin Sinfield's laid another try. So champion players stand up and decide games like that. And I was really pleased the game went to a level that I don't think even the players thought it was going to get to tonight, where no one knew who was going to win, and they were getting very, very tired. Even with the interchange rule that we played, they were very, very tired. They said at the end of the game, they don't normally play under that rule, so it was exciting from that.
No doubt.
It was really exciting.
Well, listen,
the right team probably won.
What I'll say to you is, if you're 30-0 down at half-time in Sydney, and you produce a second half like that, you can become an honorary POM.
Yeah, what you say, of course, Eddie, is those idiots upstairs are bagging you. That's how you can't play. So you turn that into a motivational force, don't you? Those players were great. I take my hat off to Brian and Ian and the particularly the players and the clubs who let them go. They've produced exactly what we wanted them to produce. Unfortunately, the grounds aren't packed, but if any football's like that next year, you're crazy not to come and watch the best players play.
Hear to that. Steve-O, fancy using us as a motivational tool? I can't believe it.
Well, I use you, Eddie, and it's put a big smile on my face, yeah. Look, we needed something that had the cutting edge, the competitive spirit to bring it back up, because we know that the Australians, they're strong, and the New Zealanders, they're going to be strong when they come at the end of the season. So we needed something to prepare for that, mentally and physically, and we've seen it in these 2 games. And I mentioned during the commentary that I'm eagerly looking forward to next season. It will be a great battle, and I can assure you all, I'm a proud Yorkshireman, we will win it. next year.
It's a night for predictions. We shall see in 12 months' time. But this is what tonight has been all about. This and the Kiwi Series, Friday the 12th of July. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning. Australia against Great Britain, the one-off test. It's live on Sky Sports 1. You'll see it live nowhere else. If you can't be with us in the morning, I hope you can. But if you can't be, primetime replays on the evening. Sky Sports 1 at 5, Sky Sports 3 at 9. And we're back with you with the Tetley Super League this weekend. Saints Castleford, Sky Sports 1, Friday 7:30. And then on Saturday we have Widnes against Leeds, Sky Sports 1 at 7 o'clock this Saturday. That's it then from all of us here at Headingley. Thanks for being there. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Goodbye.
On Sky Sports is sponsored by Stan James, your best bet for all the action.
Tell me you're good at this.
I'm the best.
Wesley Snipes. Too much hero for just one movie.
How can a man be so blatantly sadistic?
Catch 3 of his biggest hits on one explosive night.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Including the premiere of The Art of War.
Sounds good to me.
No matter how hot the action, he never loses his cool.
Always bet on black.
The Wesley Snipes Triple. Thursday from 8 on Sky Movie Max.
This is the best day of my life. You know what I mean? So good, mate. Oh, hold on here. Hello? Sarah?
Babysitter.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, okay, put her on. Hello, Brittany. It's Daddy. You what? She's having nightmares. About the wardrobe monsters. There's no such thing as wardrobe monsters. It's the burglars that breaking through the window. That's what you want to be worried about. Sweet dreams. She's gone. 2 more lambooners here. What?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
I don't.
Have flashy flunkies everywhere.
I don't.
Who wants the butter of a country estate?
A country estate is something I'd hate.
Who wants to wallow in champagne?
I don't.
And I don't.
'Cause all I want is you.
Coming up next week, England, Sri Lanka and India in the NatWest Series. One-day international cricket, live only on Sky Sports.
This is Sky Sports.
Everyone unites with a simple common goal. In a game to which they give their soul. This is the land where legends are made.
Australia's international season started unconvincingly last Saturday. France began their tour with a loss in the cauldron of Buenos Aires. Today, Adelaide was the scene as those knocking on the Test door staked a claim for inclusion in the first match this weekend. The Six Nations champions have arrived down under, and the most eagerly awaited tour of the summer is underway. Australia and France got the chance today to assess the depth of the pool of talent in their respective countries as the A-sides met at the Adelaide Oval, South Australia. And a reminder, another huge weekend of international rugby on Sky Sports. This Saturday sees another 3 test matches. First up, we'll see if Ireland can improve upon last week's break.